be a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Hello, good evening. Hopefully you can all hear me now. It is Lisa here with Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. This is a Tarot Tuesday, something new that I thought I would do for the channel. I've invested in a new webcam. So yes, look, you can see top-down table cam. So we're just going to crack on with some readings today. They are free readings today. If you would like to go across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, you can go across there and donate and buy me a cup of coffee if you would like. It's very much appreciated by those of you who do. Anyway, a little bit of business really before we start the stream tonight. As always, tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. That's very, very important. And so, yeah, we're going to crack on with some readings today. Let's see who we've got here live in the chat. So, good evening to B. Hello, B. Good evening to M12. Hello, M12. Good evening to Aqua Pichu. Hello, my friend. Long time no see. Nanette. Oh, hello, my darling. Nanette's Necessities Entertainment Hideout. Hello. I hope you are well. Oh gosh, Nanette, it's so good to see you on a stream. Are you streaming today on your channel? Let us know. Yes, M12, I've got your question in. I'll be starting the tarot questions very, very, very soon. If you are here on the live chat, just remember you do need to be subscribed. So get yourself over to the YouTube and get yourself subscribed. Once you are subscribed, after 5 minutes, you will be able to ask a question. All you need to do if you would like a tarot question asked, if you want to ask a tarot question, sorry, all you need to do is actually just pop your question, I should say, into the live chat, starting with the word question. Once we've got that, I'll be able to star it, and it means I'll be able to find it nice and easy for you. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to have a tarot reading on this channel, just, you know, for everybody's security. And of course, tarot is being streamed on that there interwebs, which does mean that even if I decide one day to take this down, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference to the YouTube gods. It will be on the internet forever, and thanks to things like the Wayback Machine, in 25 years time, when, you know, things have moved on and you're now getting TV signals beamed into your brain, at that point there will still be a way of accessing all of that. So that being said, if you are somebody who would like a reading, but you are a little bit wary of having things discussed in public, then I do recommend you go across to fiverr.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can in fact book a private tarot reading. So if that sounds like something you'd like to do please go and do that. So yes, it's just up. Oh, hang on, well, I'm trying to get used to where the camera is. Just there, look, the details are just there. Also, by the way, I do apologize for the state of my cloth. It's got some wax on it because this is actually part of my working altar setup, and the state of my nails. Look at those. So these are the last 3 acrylics I had left. They've all popped off, and I need to go and get them done. But when I rang up for an appointment, they didn't have any. I was gutted. So yes. Anyway, enough about the problem with my nails. I've got 2 decks I'm going to work from today. If you would like a particular deck, just say so in the live chat. We've got the amazing Vice Versa deck. So this is what the box looks like for the Vice Versa deck. It's a stunning deck, and it's called the Vice Versa deck because each card has 2 sides. So there is a particular side. So normally with the 2 of Cups, that would be what you'll see, or sort of similar imagery to that. And then we've got the other side. So in this case, it's a nighttime side. Let's have a look at one of the major arcana cards. So we've got the World. That's how it's often seen. A naked woman wrapped in cloth or wrapped in binding or something like that. And yet, when we look on the flip, we can see that all is not quite as luxurious as before. Like the picture frame's got a little bit of wiring and things going on in the corners. You can see where it's got its mount. So not everything is quite as gorgeous as it is on that side. So that is the vice versa deck. The other deck I'm going to be working with tonight is the Radiant Rider Radiant Wider. I can't even say it. Radiant Rider Waite Smith deck. And that's what this one looks like. It's just a standard. Oops, that's just the information sheet. And that's just the other information sheet. There we go. It's just a standard version of the Rider Waite, but a little bit bolder, a little bit prettier, a little bit brighter. So that is what we're going to be doing today. As I say, the readings on this channel are free on Tuesdays and any other days that I stream that aren't Sundays. If you would like to queue jump, you can go straight across to the no, where is it? I'm trying to point. I'm pointing up, but actually I should be pointing there. There we go. So I have a point there like that. If you go across to the buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic and donate over there, you will be able to queue jump. It's a new feature that somebody, a couple of people actually have asked me for on a Sunday. Now I'm not going to do that on a Sunday, but I will do it on these other streams. I do also have a few Oracle card decks dotted around, so I may well be doing some of those as well if I'm drawn to that. Let me know in the chat if the music is a bit in your head. If it is, if it's a bit too much or if it's a bit annoying, just let me know and I can sort that out for you. Now Nanette's just asked a question. How are you doing? I'm doing fabulously well, actually. I've just edited a podcast that is going up tomorrow for Witchy Wednesday with my amazing friend Neil, who I've known forever. Well, 20 odd years. And so yeah, we filmed that yesterday and I've edited it today. It will be uploaded tomorrow. Everything's going great. I think, Lynette, you're part of the Coffee Club crew, so you will be able to see it later on this evening. It's currently just rendering, so I thought I'll pop on the channel here and just do a couple of questions. So then, I do have some questions in. The music's lovely. Oh, thank you, Aquapichu. I always worry sometimes whether it's too loud, whether it's like too plinky plonky, but yeah, I quite like it. It's nice, relaxing in the background, isn't it? Right then, shall we crack on? Oh, in fact, let me just actually turn this up. There we go. Maybe that music is a little bit loud. I've just turned my headphones up to how it should sound and how it's probably sounding to all of you. So maybe if I take it down, there we go. Take it down to there. Does that should sound a little bit easier for you? Yeah, I'm doing well, Nanette. Thank you. I am doing well. Right then, we've got a couple of questions in already. Don't forget, all you need to do is put the word question followed by your question into the live chat. And if you would like to queue jump, all you need to do is pop over to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee and that will be a queue jump. Just let me know in the chat that you have done that and I can check it on the back end. Right then, everybody, let's get cracking with the knacking. So if you've been here before, you'll know that I am a little bit different to other tarot readers. I tend to be a lot more intuitive in the way that I work, and I tend to work with elemental energies. Now I call them my dragons. So if you hear me ringing a bell like so, it's just to cleanse the space. If you hear me talk about the dragons, don't worry, I haven't lost the plot. It's just, as I say, what I refer to the elemental energies that we work with here on this channel. That all being said, let's crack on with the first reading. So first of all, M12, are you here live in the chat? If you are, I've got your reading up on screen. I've got your question on screen now. So do please come and ask, come and say hello. Sorry. So I know that you are still here in the live chat. If you do miss your question, then you will obviously go to the back of the list, unfortunately, because we do have other questions in already. Yay, M12 is here. Fantastic. Are Tuesday's new editions? Yes, they are, Rushi. I'm going to be doing Tarot Tuesday. I'm going to try it for a few weeks and see how it goes, and then I may well bring in like Psychic Saturdays and all sorts of other things that I've got planned on the channel this year. In fact, as I say, me and Neil do talk about that in the podcast that you'll be able to watch tomorrow on this very channel. Right then, so M12, I love your name. It's a motorway here in the UK. I'm not quite sure what that means for you, but your question is, what is blocking me from finding love? Will I meet a partner soon? For some reason, this is the deck that I picked up. Did you notice that? I just picked it up automatically. I reached for it, so therefore this is the deck that is calling to me. Look, you'll actually be able to see me shuffling in real time now. Oops. And you'll also see what happens when a card jumps. It literally, single card falls. So this is your modifying card. So we're going to place this one just here. So the 9 of Pentacles. Now, if you look at this card, Pentacles is always about finances, career, money, work, all of that sort of thing. But when you're asking a love question and you're asking about a blockage, it's telling me that there is still a bit of work to be done. If you look here at this figure, this robed figure, they look quite well put together, don't they? Everything's looking good. And they're like loving this parakeet or whatever it is next to them. But it is only a 9. It is not the 10. The job is not yet done. So when you're talking about what is blocking you from finding love, the blockage, I think you've done some inner work already to try and clear this blockage. Maybe you've seen a counselor. Maybe you've done some shadow work, as we call it in the craft. I don't know, but there's definitely feels like you've done some work, but there's still some more things to uncover here on your journey. Right, let's have a look and do the cut, the all-important cut. Oh, wow, that was super close to the camera there, wasn't it? I'm going to have to work out, there we go. I'm going to have to work out angles, everybody. I do apologize if it's in 3D. Oh, making myself giggle. Right. Oh, look, we've got a major card. I love the fact that now I've got the top-down camera. You can see them as they're coming out. So we've got the Magician in the past presence. We've got the Page of Cups. Cups is all about love and romance. And we've got the Page of Pentacles reversed. Once again, Pentacles is the stumbling block here. So something to do with work or something to do with money is what's causing you this blockage. Let's just have a look at what the cards are saying, though. So the Magician is all about you having the skills, the equipment, and the ability to change your situation around you, M12. So it's talking about you being able to, you are the master, you are the one in control, you're the one pressing the buttons and doing the do. So if that is, but because this is in the past position, it kind of feels like maybe that energy's waned a little bit recently. Maybe you kind of feel like you haven't quite got that same oomph that you once had, that you know, that blockage is there, and it almost feels like you're in a little bit of a rut. Ruby, I've got your question as well. So you have done a lot of shadow work. You don't want to repeat a cycle. Absolutely. I mean, sometimes repeating cycles is fun. Sometimes having things on a loop is fun, but other times you end up in Groundhog Day, don't you? So the Magician does really feel to me like you've had this ability to change for quite a period of time, but be warned, the Magician also comes with a caveat that is talking about manipulation and manipulators. Now, when we're talking about our own lives, that can be absolutely fine, can't it? It can be fine that we manipulate ourselves. We look in the mirror and tell ourselves we're gorgeous, even though we got a big zit that day or whatever it is. And we can do that for ourselves. But when we're talking about clearing a blockage, sometimes we need a little bit of extra help. So maybe this is what this is saying, is that actually for some time you've not been able to clear this yourself, and actually you do need a little bit of assistance. Maybe this is where the Page of Cups is coming in. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because Cups is your love emotion. So Cups is the love suit. Cups is all about your emotions, how you feel, your attractions, all of those lovely positive vibes. And it's also a water sign. And water signs tell us to be a bit more malleable and go with the flow through life. But here, this really does seem to me that the Page energy is a very young energy. And the fact that this is talking about a blockage, M12, and this is talking about your past, is there something here that maybe somebody was either too young or got involved too young in a previous relationship? Maybe there was something here where somebody was acting childish, and that's what caused the blockage, and it's left some sort of a bit of work still left to do, because the 9 is still, obviously this is still our clarifying card, our modifying card. So this is still telling us that there is still some work here. And then finally we come to this other page. Now these two pages together is telling me there's definitely this youthful blip. So this youthfulness, this maybe naivety, this innocence, this issue is what caused this problem that you've having, this blockage. Now, the fact that the Page of Pentacles, is reversed, is really telling me that this was almost done to you, if that makes sense. So whatever your past relationship was, whatever the damage was, or whatever, if you haven't had that special relationship, then whatever it was that you saw growing up, maybe as a child in the relationship around you, that's where the blockage lies. So it's in something that's going back either to childhood or to a younger you, because we've got two pages and these two have come up like so tight against each other, one face up and one reversed. So that really is telling me that this is kind of leaving you a bit topsy-turvy. Again, with the Page of Pentacles, this is talking about, this is more for the future, kind of what's to come and how to unblock. I don't think you're going to be able to do it on your own. This reversal is really telling me, along with this 9, that actually I think you do need some assistance in getting through this blockage, whether that's with professional counseling, whether that's with, you know, life coach, or whether that's just with your best mate and a you know, a good movie, a takeaway and a few beers, if that's what you need to, like, you know, let it all out and cry your heart out. Whatever it is that you need, I do think you're going to need to find someone to assist you with that, because of this Magician here in the past, and because that's saying that energy is now kind of gone from you. Hopefully, M12, that makes a bit of sense. I hope it does. Look at that. Oh, fabulous. It says it does. You say it does make sense. Hang on. There we go. Show the comment. Thank you very much, Lisa. Well done. Makes sense. I think it is childhood issues. Yeah, absolutely. Both of these pages for me is the preteen energy. So it's not a baby, because that would come up as either the sun or maybe the 3s. But this for me really does feel like it is that sort of young, yeah, preteen, sort of middle school type energy, when things went a bit wrong, when things around you went a bit wrong. Not middle school. That's not right. What's it called? Secondary school. The other one. The not quite college, under college, like 16, yeah, like up to 16, 18, like that period is the sort of energy that I'm getting from this. But I don't know where you are in the world, because school systems change. In fact, school systems over here have changed. They're no longer called secondary schools. I don't know what they're called. They're middle schools and little schools. I don't know what they're called anymore. They're called grades, and it's all very confusing. I don't understand, because I'm old. But anyway, M12, that is your reading for tonight. There's a very different energy around today, isn't there? Just because you can't see my face. I've even put my face on, you know. I said to Rufus, my other half, I said, right, I'm going to go and do a reading. He's like, okay. I said, I've got the new camera to do the top down. I said, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm saying that as I'm putting my face on. And he goes, why are you bothering that if you've got the top down camera now? And I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. But anyway, M12, I hope that helps, my darling. Oh, you say you're from Sweden. Oh, I've got even less of an idea then. I don't even know what the school system is up to in my own country, let alone in Sweden. But anyway, best of luck to you, my friend. And yeah, as always, my advice would be to, I think there is some healing left to do, but I think that blockage, that is what's causing you. That's what's causing the healing to literally block. Your questions about unblocking. And I think that that's something that sometimes, with the best will in the world, we can't do on our own. Sometimes we do need to reach out either for professional assistance, or to reach out for, you know, to friends and family and loved ones around us to give us that assistance and to help pull us through the darker times. But I do think you will get out of the other side. Absolutely. That modifying card, that 9 of Pentacles, is all about the job's not quite done. You're nearly there. You haven't quite signed off on it. You haven't quite dotted the I's and crossed the T's. I'm glad I said that the right way around, because I never normally do. You haven't quite got to that point yet, but you're nearly there. So whatever work you've been doing, it's kind of like, it's like you've dug away at the surface. It's like in, oh, what's the film? I want to say The Green Mile. I don't think it is. Shawshank? I can't remember. You know, whatever the film is where they put the poster over the wall and they've been digging it away with a spoon. It's like you're almost there. You're almost out of that prison cell. You've been digging away and digging away and digging away with your yogurt spoon, and you're kind of almost through the other side, but not quite. There's a little bit of work still left to do, my darling. And with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for your reading, and thank you very much for your question, sorry. And yeah, I will love you and leave you and see you on the next one. So thank you ever so much. Right, who is next? Who have I got up next? Let's have a look at my list. Rushi Kumar. Rushi, could you possibly come and say hello if you're still here on the live chat? I'm loving the energy here tonight. It's a really... We don't normally have music playing on this channel, do we? It's a very nice, relaxing, kind of chilled space tonight. I'm loving it. So yes, Rushi, if you're still here, come and say hello on the live chat. Let's have a look. Somebody said something. Oh, there you are, Rushi, my darling. Fabulous. I've got your question. You're looking just for a general reading. We'll be able to do that for you. I'm actually going to swap decks. I don't know why. Sometimes I sit here normally on a Sunday and I've got all these decks around me and I keep meaning to swap. And I just don't. I don't know why that is. So I'm swapping over to the Vice Versa Tarot. Now, this is one that we need to be super careful of. So I need to be careful how I shuffle it, because I don't want to give the game away, you see. Because That's just bad shuffling, because they are double-sided, so it's very difficult to shuffle this and then to have the standard reveal that, oh, look at those cards, isn't it really exciting, when you've been staring at me shuffling them for the last 2 minutes. Right, I'm just going to do, there we go, I just need to do a little bit on the back end. Apologies for the pause. There we go. Right, so let's get your question in then, Rushi. So you're asking a general reading. Okay, dragons, so we're going to clear for the dragons. There we go. So then, dragons, Rushi Kumar would like to know what is likely to happen in the next few weeks. So as again, Rushi, as we always say, I only really see for the next 6 weeks maximum normally, in sort of any details. We can sometimes see the larger picture, for a little bit longer than that, 6 months or so, maybe even up to a year. But generally speaking, when we're looking at like general readings and what's to come, it is very much a short-term reading. We've definitely got a card. You saw that there. Look at that. That card has dropped. So if it falls that way up. So this is your modifying card. So we've got the King of Pentacles. Pentacles are very popular modifying cards today. So the King of Pentacles, this is the reverse side. Bizarrely, I know. So in this deck, the front of the King of Pentacles is the one that looks all nighttime and spooky and a little bit in the Midnight Garden. But the King of Pentacles is about either a father figure or a work figure, somebody maybe that you work with, an authority figure, maybe not the big boss, maybe just somebody, an older male probably in your life because of the king energy. It doesn't have to be male, it can be anybody with that sort of king energy. So if you've got a female in your life that is, everybody thinks, oh God, isn't she manly? Isn't she butch? Isn't she? She's the one that takes charge. All of those traditional and rather sexist and misogynistic, unfortunately, traits that people assign to maleness. But yeah, whoever this person is, it's definitely linked in with your work and finances, or as I always say, it could just be that there is some work to be done with this person. Right, I'm going to do the card drop. So this is, bear in mind, this is just your modifying, your clarifying cards. So let's drop. You can tell what cards aren't going to be yours. Look, the Knight of Pentacles isn't going to be yours. So we cut the drop and we go 1, 2, and 3. What have we got? Oh, we've got a repeat already. Look at that. And wow, Rushi, you've got 3 major arcana cards with the central one being a repeat. This is important. So this is really important. Hello, Patricia, my darling. Hello, Izzy222. I hope you are both very, very well. Izzy, if you would like, I don't know if you're asking a question, love. If you are, just pop the word question followed by your question into the live chat as it's saying just there. Look on the, where is it? There on the screen there. Look, we're scrolling across the bottom there. Look, that bit there. So then, Rushi, we've got the Hanged Man. Now, this is coming up in the energy that you are leaving with. This is the energy that has been around you for recent times. And for me, the Hanged Man is a bit of a misnomer because it normally looks like quite a spooky card, doesn't it? A person that's being hung by their foot. But actually, if you look closely, normally the ties aren't actually locked. They're not roped. They're not tied in place. The ropes are just hanging loose. And actually, I don't know whether this camera's going to pick it up. Not particularly. But you can see there that actually the character is normally smiling, or if not fully smiling, then they've at least got a little bit of a Mona Lisa smile going on. So this is telling me that you have had to pause and take stock recently. You've really had to kind of stop what you were doing and assess things. So the Hangman is about having that patience and having that wisdom of knowing when to move and when to stay still. And sometimes stillness is a massive gift. And so the Hangman here is really talking about that stillness. But I think that whatever it is that you've had to learn, whatever you've had to ruminate, cogitate, and mull over, you've actually now find that it's now time to get moving because we've got the Magician. Now, again, if I show you the flip side, very different type of energy. This is a dawn and a dusk energy, like the end of the evening. The sun is setting, things are a lot more, you know, a lot more chilled, things are a lot more peaceful. Whereas on this side, look, my darling, it is already nighttime. We've got a shooting star, all of this gorgeous, vibrant energy coming in. We've got the wand here. So this is somebody who is dynamic. This is taking choices. This is taking chances, taking control. The magician here has all of the tools at their disposal. So this is saying to me, Rushi, right now, where you are in life at this very moment, you have the tools at your disposal. So that is something that you really do need to kind of bear in mind, that whatever this is that you've been thinking about, whatever these changes you've wanted to make, this is the time to go for it. This is the time to actually make those changes and move on. So the third card, sorry, I was getting completely confused then. The third card is the Emperor. Now, I've got to say this camera is not the best for focusing, is it really? But anyway, the Emperor is, again, one of those amazing cards. It's another major arcana card. If I flip it that way, quite often you see the Emperor in sunlight, or you see the Emperor, you know, it looks like a sunny day, but they're in a room, if that makes sense. It's a brighter card. This is what you've got. So this is more of a nighttime. Again, for me, nighttime speaks about wisdom and intuition. It talks about having this, it talks about like looking within almost during the nighttime, your dreams, your goals, that inner space. But the Emperor is somebody who has overall control. They've literally got the world, or in this case, a glowing gold orb in their hands. The Emperor is in charge not just of the kingdoms, he's in charge of everything, all of the people, all of the lands. The final buck comes with the Emperor. Now, it's really interesting that you've got the Emperor and the King of Pentacles, and if you look, both of them have this similar gold orb. Now, in this case, it's floating in midair because, you know, magic. And in this case, it's more of a scepter, although this Emperor's, you know, got a scepter of his own. So it's really interesting that you've got these two cards coming up. So it does definitely say that there is something here coming up in the future for you, Rushi, where maybe you need the advice of somebody else who has a bit more knowledge about either work or money. And certainly maybe it's either you stepping up to be the decision maker or getting advice from that decision maker. That's what that Emperor is saying. But I've got to say, Rushi, whatever it is that you've been mulling over, ruminating, cogitating, and generally digesting recently, I know, right? I have been watching old editions of MasterChef. Whatever that is, you've got, it's kind of like you've been thinking about it for long enough. Now you've got to take action. And this person, who I think is very much linked, this person is going to be the way forward for you. Okay, so I hope that helps, Rushi. I hope you can take that, my darling. It really does. Basically, you have the wherewithal. Yeah, absolutely. You are the one. You are the magician in this picture. This is you, central. You've got these other two major cards next to you. Everything is looking amazing, but this is you. You are the one that decides to take control. And it's as I always say on this channel, you make all of the decisions about your own life. And just remember that, my darling. And yeah, that is your reading for today. I'm trying something a little bit different. Can you tell? On a Tarot Tuesday, I'm trying to go through a few more readings on a session. So just for those of you that have been around on my Sunday sessions, on my Sunday streams, I've got to say that the oh, hang on a second, I've got a weird pop-up just popped up on my screen. Good evening to Rita Palande. If you've been around, no worries, Rushi, my darling, thank you so much for popping in on the stream today. I've got to say, if you've been around on my streams in the past on the Sundays, and if you do come to a future Sunday stream, 7 p.m. UK time on this very channel, Beyond Authentic Witchcraft, then you will see that I normally waffle on, and those readings can get very long because they are very psychic based. And so Sundays are now going to be called Psychic Reading Sundays with the cards. Nothing else is going to change. I might bring in some oracle cards or some runes or some bones, all sorts of things on top, but very much going to be working in Sundays are going to stay the long form, if you like, and then the other streams that I do throughout the week, they're going to be the ones that are a little bit more, we try and get through a little more readings for a few more people, because I think that's only fair, isn't it? Right, I do have, how many have I got left on the questions? I've got 5 more to go. I don't know how long we're going to be streaming for. We're going to stream for a little while, maybe till about 9 o'clock. Do we think maybe 9 o'clock? about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that, maybe just after 9. So obviously that is UK time. By the way, if you do want to queue jump, just go across to the Buy Me a Coffee link just up there, and you can queue jump just with a £3 Americano with soy. I know it sounds weird when you say it like that, doesn't it? Right then. Oh, Patricia, by the way, I was going to say, my darling, me and Neil filmed one of the podcast episodes yesterday, and we were talking. We desperately want you to come on the podcast one day, you know, my darling. We want to get you on, pick your brain, seek out your wisdom, and just basically interview you like you've never been interviewed before, basically. Yeah, we both find you absolutely amazing and fascinating, and we both want to adopt you. But anyway, enough of that. You asked the question, what deck am I using? I've got the Vice Versa deck. This is the one that came in the Las Scarabeo, what's it called, Total Tarot collection thing that I've now stopped. I've still got, I think, 3 issues that I haven't even opened because I cancelled it. So I think I've still got some issues to review. Maybe I should get that up on the channel soon as well. So I've got that one. I've also got the beautiful Radiant Rider-Waite deck. So obviously it takes, was it Patricia Smith's? I can't remember. It takes the original artwork and just gives it a bit more of a oomph. It just brightens it, makes it a lot more vivid. And you know me very well by now, Patricia. You know I like things a bit vivid. I'm just looking because I've also got, there was another deck that I wanted to pull for today. Now this isn't it, but I think this might be a debut on this channel as well. The Alchemy Gothic Tarot. So maybe we'll have a look at that if anybody wants a particularly Gothic themed reading. Let's get that out of the box as well. I do like this deck, and I don't know why I haven't used it on the channel yet. Maybe we'll discover that tonight. Maybe as I do this spread, maybe it's because I've got one stuck in the box. There we go. Yeah, as I was saying, maybe as we read it today, I mean, I will say I don't have my glasses on me, and it is quite a dark room today in here. So yeah, maybe that's why it's a little bit. Oh, and there's an information card there. Oopsie. Yeah, maybe I won't read that one today because it is a little bit too dark for me to actually see. Bugger. Oh, I was really looking forward to that as well. Then I thought, oh, we're doing it. I'll tell you what. Let me grab. Hang on, everybody. Apologies if you're waiting for a reading. I'll just grab my other deck. This is the one that I'm going to have to move that one. Is that Star Spinner? Yes, it is. This is what we're going to use. The Star Spinner Tarot deck. So we will go through that one as well today. Have I already put the extra lovers cards in the bottom? Oh, well, there's one of them. So where are the other? Oh, yes, I have. So there's 3. There we go. So there's 3 in the bottom. If you've never seen this deck before, this deck has 4 lovers cards. It is a very LGBTQIA plus inclusive deck. Where should I put this one? I'm going to put this one. There we go. Look, we'll put the standard one there, the Vice Versa there, and we'll put this one there. So if you want a particular deck, just say, when you're asking your question, just say 1, 2, or 3. I don't know if I can bring that a little bit lower so you can see the backs of the decks. Maybe. There you go. Right then. Okay, so next up, who have I got up next? Aqua Pichu, if you are here, my darling. Oh, if you are here, my darling, can you come and say hello in the live chat? I've got your question up in front of me. Oh, it's a very tough question, Aqua Pichu. Thank you. Yes, hi. Right. Are you okay, Aqua Pichu, with me putting this question up on the screen? Just let me know if you're okay with me putting it up on the screen. And obviously, once I do, if you do give me permission, once I do, then people will understand maybe why I'm just pausing and asking for permission first. So yeah, if you're okay with me posting it on the screen, you think we need the Star Spinner? Absolutely. I was thinking that as soon as I saw your question, I was like, oh, that's why I needed the Star Spinner. Are you okay with me posting it then, my darling? Is that a good thing for you? I'm just waiting for confirmation because obviously your question could could have repercussions. You're okay, thanks. Right, okie dokie, my darling. So your question is quite detailed and quite close to my heart. It says, I recently found out that I have the option to call a safe shelter for LGBT people in my country. I'm tired of hiding who I am all the time around my parents. Should I take the risk? Right, intuitively, it feels quite dangerous at the moment, my darling. I don't know what country you're in, but what I will say to you is, as when I was running a trans support group here in the UK, I would always advise people, you've got to think about your safety, number one. Okay, yes, it's nice to come out, yes, it's important to be who you are and all of that, but the most important thing is that we are still alive in a year's time or 10 years time or 50 years time, whatever it is. That is the most important thing. Okay, and if anything is going to risk that, then it is better to be in the closet. It is better to be so closeted that you live in Narnia along with the Ice Queen and the talking hedgehog. Was it a hedgehog? Can't remember. Whatever it was. Like, you are better being in Narnia than you are risking things for the sake of coming out. Like, there is a lot of time left on this planet. There is a lot of time left for you to live. At the end of the day, if your situation right now is not safe enough for you to come out and to be an open member of the LGBTQ plus community, then just hold on that. It will get better, my darling, and you will have that resource available to you at a later point. But it may just be that for now, you have to just pause that. You have to just, bide your time. But for now, let me just go back and we will ask the questions. So then, by the way, everybody, if you're looking for a reading, you do have to just pop the word question followed by your question into the live chat. Yeah, absolutely, Pamela. Pamela's sorry to hear you're dealing with this, Aquapichu. Absolutely. Pamela, reading list is open. Absolutely. Mr. Subin, when bad days will end, what's your future like? Again, I will pop those two questions onto the list. Oh, actually, you didn't give me a question, Pamela. But if you send a question through, then I will get that on for you. Right then, Aquapichu, let's have a look at what the beautiful Star Spinner deck is suggesting for you. You can tell this is a new deck because it's kind of acting a little bit clumpy. So I'm going to do something that I don't normally ever do with my decks. I'm going to try and break the spine. I know, right? I don't mean that. Look, Patricia's currently having a panic attack. She's going, no, don't break the spine. No, they got the decks. Oh, my Lord. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a riffle shuffle just to break them all up a bit from their space. They're still feeling a little bit, I don't know, a little bit icky. Not icky. What's the word? Sticky. No, not sticky either. A bit clumpy. Clumping together. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Right then. So, dragons. We need all Dragon Force. Dragon Force 5. Why do I do that? There we go. Dragons. If you don't know, by the way, dragons are the elemental energies I work with. 5 different dragons represent the 5 elemental energies. So we've got an air dragon, a water dragon, a fire dragon, an earth dragon, and a spirit dragon. Is that all of them? Did I say all of them? I don't remember. I think I probably did. So then, dragons. Aquapichu is asking a very important question. They recently found out that they have access to an LGBTQ safe space. Whether this is by phone or by going there, they want to make contact. Now, if they do that, it could be that other people will find out their identity. Is that a good thing to take that risk? Basically, is what we want to know. Look, we've just had a card absolutely jump. So we've got a modifier. Oh, bearing in mind it landed this way up, so technically it needs to be reversed. So we've got the Tower. Now the Tower is all about things that you've built up being kind of the rug being pulled from under you a little bit. Okay, but this was reversed, which means it feels like that is what's happening. It feels like the rug is going to be, it doesn't look right, does it? But it was reversed. So it feels like the rug is going to be pulled from under you a little bit. It feels very precarious right now, to be honest with you, Rushi. This card is always a warning. Whichever way it comes up, whichever space it comes up, it's always, for me, a warning of be careful. The assumptions that others build, the assumptions that you put in place, like, when we assume we make an ass out of you and me, there is a truism to that. So yeah, let me just pop this one down. So this is going to be your modifier. Now I'm going to cut the deck just whenever a card jumps like that, I'm going to do the cut. So here we go. I wonder if I can angle it like that so you can see. There we go. Like a straight cut. I'm saying nothing. Right then, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Let's look at the deck. Isn't it a beautiful deck? Isn't it just stunning? So we have, what have we got? We've got the King of Swords. We have the Star, and we have, my eyes aren't working. There's a very small writing on this card. The 6 of Coins or Pentacles discs. Right, so the King of Swords, I think there is trouble. When you say that there'll be trouble around your parents, I think this is more father that's causing the trouble rather than mother, to be honest with you, because we've got the King of Swords. Swords, as I always say, is the trouble in strife. So it's the obstacles in life. It's all of those things that we need to be sort of mindful of, those things that really do come to try us. And the king is obviously very stereotypical masculine energy, older gentleman energy again. So this to me always represents the sort of parental figures of like the fatherhood figure in the family. It doesn't have to be the father. You know, a lot of people, my mum and dad, my dad was away at sea for an awful lot, so my dad was missing, but my mum basically became mother and father while dad was away. And then when dad was back, you know, she went back to being just mum, which was a really interesting childhood, as you can imagine, especially growing up trans in that situation. But you know, so yeah, I think definitely father's going to be the issue moving forward, and certainly like that's been the biggest problem coming in from behind. This is where you are right now. You've got the Star. This is that hope, that wish, that goal that you've got in mind. You know, I wish upon a star. It's that energy. So I think at the moment this is something that you really, really want with all your heart's desire, is to come out, even just baby steps out of that closet. And it's something which I my God, my darling, I absolutely feel for you right now. I feel it. But again, you may just have to pause. Not for very long though. Let me just hide that comment so you can see the cards. Not for very long, because for me the 6 is all about community. Now the 6 of Coins is saying here that actually, do you know what, when you are able to financially, whether it's moving into, if this is a safe space that you can live in, if this is a safe space where you're actually like it's an LGBT sort of living complex or something like that, then absolutely please do seek it out and maybe have a little look-see behind the scenes and do all of that, because that sounds, for you know, that would be really fascinating, and also would be a proper safe haven. But there's something here about money and community. Now, for me, that really does talk about shared housing, shared accommodation, some sort of shared situation where you are able to take solace and comfort with each other, but also in a way that is very, very accepting. If this could also mean, though, Rushi, this could be a warning that actually, you know, although this is what you really want to do, because we've got the Tower reversed, again, I will flip it because it was reversed, even though that to me just looks weird. The layout doesn't work reversed on that card. But basically what that is saying to me is that, look, things could go very, very bad, very, very fast. And so even though this is what your heart is like, I can feel the longing in you. What I would say is just be blooming careful right now, and maybe wait until you are in a position where you can actually, like, you know, move on. Oh, hang on, I've just seen a comment pop up from you. Hello. It's a safe space where I can live in. Oh yes, then this is the future. This is where you are headed towards. Okay, so you may well be burning a bridge. Be bloody careful, right? Be bloody careful. You make all your own decisions in your own life. Of course you do. This is entertainment purposes only. Be bloody careful, because I think once you come out, There's no going back in. Ask anybody that's ever come out of the closet. Once you come out of the closet, whether you do it tiptoes or whether you explode out in sequins and neon, or you get a butch haircut and bother boots, or like me, you explode out the closet by declaring yourself a strong, proud trans woman on stage in front of several hundred or several thousand, people. Whatever way you want to do it, it's all good. But once you've done that, you're a bit stuck. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But if this is a housing complex, particularly if there's a financial element here going in, Rushi, then do please seek that out. But my God, please be safe. Please be safe is all I'm going to say, my darling. But it definitely, this is in the future. And as I always say, I don't normally see more than 6 weeks into the future or into the past. So I think like by mid-February, you should start seeing some actions and some movement there. So yeah, best of luck to you, my darling. And do reach out. Why do I keep saying Rushi? It's Aquapichu. Sorry, my darling. Why was I doing that? That's like twice I did that. Do reach out, do seek out support. Google LGBTQIA plus organizations in your country, in your area. Go and seek out support. Go and seek out people that, even if nothing else, you can go meet lovely friends, or you can even go meet the love of your life. That's happened on more than several occasions at groups that I've been a part of. Right, I hope that helps, Aquapichu. Thank you so much, my darling. It means so much. Thank you, my darling. Love to you. Holland is here from Blue Chalice Arts. Hello, Holland. Hello, my darling. How are you doing? I hope you're doing very, very well. For those of you who don't know, Holland runs Blue Chalice Arts, and Blue Chalice Arts makes some amazing witchy paraphernalia, like air dry clay stuff and wonderful witch bells that you hang on the door, and there's all sorts of altar wear and tiles and wonderful things on the website. So do go and check out Blue Chalice Arts over on Etsy. Yeah, we're doing a Tuesday stream. I think I'm going to do this from now on, and I think I like having the top down cam. I like this. It does really remind me that I needed to do my nails before I came live, but I only set up the camera at literally 3 minutes before I went live today, so I didn't have time to sort anything else out, and I've got to somehow get these 3 acrylics off because not good. But anyway, it's a new one. It's a learning curve. Let me have a look at the chat, see if there's any messages that I have missed. Eleanor, I've got your question. I will add it onto the list. I'm going to go through as many as I possibly can. We're going to run till about half past 9, so about just under another hour. So there is plenty of time. I do have something like, oh my God, I've got 10 more questions in already. So I will go through them as fast as I possibly can while still maintaining time for everybody. So I have 3 decks on the go today. I know, right? Look at me pushing the boat out and being like a professional YouTuber on the chat. What? A professional YouTuber on the tarot. Yeah, that's about sums it up, doesn't it, really? A professional YouTuber on the tarot. What I meant to say, oops, she says, knocking everything ass backwards, is a professional tarot reader on the YouTubes. So yes, anyway, I've got the vice versa deck. That's what the box looks like just here. It is a stunningly beautiful deck with images on both sides. Literally, look at that. That is the same card, or the box art is from the same card, and each card has a different side like that. Then I've got the Star Spinner Tarot, which is a beautiful tarot deck, very LGBTQIA plus friendly. Lots of people of color, because everybody is either purple, pink, or sky blue with purple stripes. It's a very interesting deck, and it's got 4 lovers cards with various definitions of human bodies on them. And then the third deck I'm using tonight is the Radiant Rider Smith. No, the Radiant Rider Waite Smith. Yeah, it's just basically the standard Rider Waite deck with lots of vibrant art and beauty. So I don't know why I was drawn to those today. I just was. As always, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com. Where? How do I do this? It's there. I keep wanting to point because to me it's up there. But you can go across here and donate if you would like to. And what I'm going to do on a Tuesday, because I've already got like 10 questions in, and I think we've done 3 or 4 already. It's bonkers. If you want to queue jump, then if you donate over there at buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, then I will queue jump you as a way of making sure that happens. Right, the next cab off the rank. Let's have a little look-see. By the way, all these readings are live on the YouTubes. If you are asking personal questions and you don't want that shared with, the entire world, potentially for infinity amounts of time, then do please go across to fiverr.com here and book a private, where is it? There, that one. Go over there and book a private reading. That way your secrets, the affair you've been having with your child's school teacher, and that £50 million you stole from the butchers last Wednesday, none of that is going to seek out on the internet. It will all be kept private. But obviously when I do my readings, I tell it like it is. Right, so Pure Love, if you are here, please come and say hello in the live chat. That would be absolutely lovely. Oh, there we go. I think you are there. Pure love, pure love, pure love, pure love. Pure love, pure love, pure love. There we go. I've got you. Subliminals. Not sure how I feel about subliminals, Myra. There's a lot of them, but yeah. Not sure how I feel in all honesty. If it was that easy to manifest, younger features and all of those things, I'm just going to grab a mouthful of pop. This is just, look at that. Perfect positioning. If I was gonna, if it was that easy to manifest a younger body, a fitter body, or a waif-like figure and a supermodel face, then why do I spend so many hundreds of pounds every year on face creams? That's all I'm going to say on that. And also, I'm a little bit wary about some of these videos, because if the video has these subliminal messages in that is enough to change your face, what if the person doing it is subliminally saying, send me all your money, send me your cash app me everything you own now, do it now. It's kind of like you wouldn't know, would you, because you're asleep. See what I mean? Right, Pure Love, we're doing your reading straight after this. If you don't know, everybody, I have misophonia, which means the sound of somebody drinking a can of pop or eating their dinner anywhere near me sends me absolutely balmy. So whenever I have to take a drink, I will play something like that just to kind of nullify that if anybody is affected. Right, so your question is, may I get a love reading, please? You're a single female, Pure Love. Absolutely. Which deck are we going to use? Which deck are we drawn to? I think I'm going with Star Spinner again. No, I'm not. I'm going with vice versa. I don't know why. Southern Dragons, Pure Love would like a love reading, please. A good name, really, Pure Love. You want a love reading, and your name is Pure Love. I love that. It sort of tells you everything you want to know about yourself, doesn't it? If anybody knows Pure Love in person, you say, oh, what are you on the internet? Pure Love. That's why I'm beyond authentic, because I've always been authentic and I've always said what it is. And it's got me into a lot of trouble over the years, like, speaking my mind and telling my truth. And unfortunately, it's something I'm never going to be able to change. So why not have a series of channels and videos all about being authentic, and in fact beyond authentic. So then let's have a little look-see here. We're going to do your drop. You didn't have a modifying card. We know you're not going to get the Page of Wands, look, because that's the one that's at the top of the deck. This is the only downside to this deck. No, it's going to go again. See, I told you it's a 3-drop. So let's have a look. Oh, my darling. All right, okay. It looks like you've got a lot of healing to do before new love is going to come in. Let me just explain. So we've got the 3 of Swords in your past position here, my darling. So the 3 of Swords, this deck is beautiful because it's on a shield. So Yeah, it's, you know, shielded with love, even though you've been severely hurt in the past. This is a card of heartbreak, basically. So swords for me is all about trouble and strife, obstacles, challenges, and this is really talking about that that heartache that you've gone through, and that feeling of, you know, missing out, and that feeling of things being left behind. And this feels very much to me like you were the injured party, if that makes sense. You were the one that had all the stuff done unto them, and it was the other person that treated you badly. I don't know whether I'm right in that, my darling. If so, just pop us a little something in the doodah, in the live chat. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, I think, like, so if this is in your past position, then this is what's going to be causing the trauma and stopping new love energy coming in. And the reason I'm saying that is happening is because here, look in the present, we've got the 5 of Swords. This is not a happy person. This is a person that is bereft, absolutely. Like, are they begging for their life? Are they, you know, what is going on here? When we flip the card, you can see that actually both of them do walk away, but under what conditions? Like, this is not a good situation to be in, and I don't think this represents you in this case. Sometimes they can do, but I don't think this represents you. I think this is where you are. I think that you are still recovering from, whether this was physical, emotional, but there was definitely something not great that went on here, and it's something that, for me, like, you're going to have to take time for you to recover from this position that you're in. It's a really interesting card. The 5s for me are really about loss and about anguish, and about sort of, you know, halfway through, just when you think everything's going fine, that rug is ripped out from under you, and that is definitely reflected here. And I think that is still what you're working through, and still what you need to kind of overcome before love energy finds its way back to you. Particularly because, look, I don't know whether you are heterosexual. I don't know whether the person that you were in a relationship identifies as male, but the King of Swords is coming up in the next few weeks as well. So just bear in mind this. So swords can sometimes mean ideas, and it is the sort of the air symbol. So it can be, you know, arty-farty and airy-fairiness, but I think there is still some repercussions from whatever this was, whatever this heartbreak was, and whatever this feeling of betrayal and like real negativity, real, like, the yuckiness, whatever this was. I think there's still an outcome here that you're waiting on. You haven't got closure for whatever reason, whether that is something to do with authority. So I don't know whether that's like a law case, although it's not a judgment or justice card. It would seem to suggest that there is still some decision making going on that is affecting you, that this person is still doing. So yeah, I think there's still some issues ahead that you need to flush out, and until you flush that out, there's no room for new energy to come in. Does that make sense? It's a bit like if you've got a small bedroom, and in that small bedroom you've got a king size bed. It's just about enough space for you to walk around. Well, if you want to put a wardrobe and a chest of drawers and, you know, a nice little dressing unit in there, you're going to have to get rid of the bed first. And in this analogy, the bed, this broken, knackered, old, no springs, no niceness to it, you know, it's been peed on and puked on, and it's this horrible, nasty old bed that someone, you know, old people have passed on in the years. It's nasty, hideous, it's full of ringworm and woodworm, and the mice have gnawed at it. It's this horrible bed, and until you get that out of there, you're not going to have space for the lovely, you know, nice little bed and the wardrobe and the you know what I mean. So I think you need to get some assistance maybe and get this dealt with. Once you've got rid of that, it does feel like this is, I don't know whether you've ever done any gaming, but it feels like this is the final boss. Like, once this is gone, you'll be free of this this ill feeling from this relationship. Like, once it's gone, once you defeat the final boss, like, you level up, and when you level up, that's when I think things are going to improve in your love life. Absolutely. Oh, who is the King of Swords? It's somebody related in with whoever this was that you were somebody that you hang on a second, sorry, the King of Swords would be somebody in authority, an authority figure. It could be a father type figure or an older gentleman, but it also could be, if you are straight, if you are into men, it could be the person you were in a relationship with if they were older than you. There is still something here left unresolved, and the swords are always an action for me. Like whenever the swords come up, it's always something that is going to happen. This is going to be a hurdle to overcome, an obstacle to get through. It's going to be something that you have to work your way through. It's not a passive card. Okay, so it's not something that, you know, this person, this authority figure is going to come along and just help. It's like this is going to be a hindrance, another challenge, but it's linked in directly to the way that you were treated and to the heartbreak that you felt, because all three of those read very, very linearly. I hope that helps, Pure Love, my darling. You've got all of our wishes on this channel. I know that because I can see some of the messages flying in the chat. I hope that it's he comes into mind a lot. Maybe it's the obstacle. He could well be. I think there's still something that you need to I think there's still something that you need to overcome. There's something that you do need to shift that energy out, that final boss energy. You need to deal with it. You need to clear it out of your system. And if that means, you know, counseling support, or if that just means, you know, it could mean something really, really simple, like, well, I say simple, but it could mean something like, you know, maybe moving to a different area so that you don't see this person on a daily basis. You know, it could be something in the mundane world like that, in a sort of practical sense, as well as undergoing counseling and shadow work and all of those things. But with that, my darling, I hope that helps. And thank you very much for your reading. Right, let me have a little look-see at what is happening in the chat. Let me just have a little look-see. Right, so we've got, oh, Nanette, what's Paulie? Is that your doggo? I'm not quite sure. What's hang on, let me go back in the chat. Oh, very good, Patricia. Sometimes in order to move forward, you have to stand still and wait. You're a very wise woman, Patricia. Very wise woman, absolutely. Oh, I'm not quite sure. I don't know how far back I need to go. Oh, your fur baby's sick. Oh, my darling. Oh, Ed's here. Hello, Ed, my darling. I don't know if I said hello to you. Nanette. Oh, I hope your fur baby's better soon. There's nothing worse than having a pet be poorly. We had one of our final ratties pass away this week, which was, it was quite sad. It really was quite sad. Yes, you do need to clear out, Pure Love. Absolutely, you do need to clear out. Yeah, our final ratty, after we had many of them, our final ratty passed, and it was sad. It really was sad. Anyway, oh, he's feeling better now. Oh, hurrah, 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 hurrah. Yeah, everyone's glad your doggo is feeling better. We are a channel of animal lovers. We really are. Akshara, you're here waiting. Okay, my darling, let me have a look at where you are on the list. You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are 7 down the list, my darling. I am getting to, hang on. No, you're not. You are, I've got 3 in from the same person. Right, you are, how many is that now? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're 5 down on the list. So yeah, we'll get to you as soon as I can. If you are asking questions in the chat, if you would like a reading, do please put the word question followed by your question. If you want to be able to queue jump, you can go over to buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic, where you can buy me a coffee for £3. I don't know how much that is in dollars and other currencies, because I'm thick and I never learnt that sort of stuff at school, because we didn't do none of that stuff at my school, did we? No. But if you, I don't know what that accent is. There's a little bit of Rufus's London Essex accent and my really bad EastEnders Cockney accent in it. And just general chavdom in general. But anyway, if you want to queue jump, you can go over there and buy me a coffee on the Tuesday tarot streams. So Ruby S, are you still here? If so, come and say hello in the live chat, please, my darling. If you come and say hello in the live chat, then I will be able to get that highlighted and linked for you. Oh, thank you, Holland. Oh, why are you? Oh, hang on. Nope, don't want to do that. Why is it telling me I've got new comments? Ruby S, hey, there you go, my darling. It does. Dollars to pounds and everything else changes all the blooming time. I can never keep anything straight. Wow. That's another story, dear listeners. No, I'm joking. I am these days. I am a very boring, confirmed straight woman, old married straight woman. I never thought that would happen in my life, but yeah. Anyway, right, enough about me. Ruby S, I've got your question up in the chat. It says, hey, question, stop. Question, why are you going to talk about it? No, that's Destiny's Child. Are there going to be any changes regarding your career in the next 6 months? Right, what we're going for this one. We're going for the Radiant Rider Waite Smith. Ruby S, we normally only see about 6 weeks into the future, but we will ask the dragons, cleansing the energy, we will ask the dragons for a specific 6-month reading. So then dragons, Ruby S would like to know, are they going to be moving their career? Are they going to be changing career? Are they going to be moving up, moving down, moving sideways, moving on up? What are they going to be doing with their career in the next 6 months? So what does that take us to? Oh my God, it takes us to July, middle of Pride season. I might even get to, look at that. This is me. That was me being a dodgy dealer rather than a dodgy dealer. Yeah, a dodgy dealer, like in a casino, because, you know, that's how it works. But I might actually get to a Pride this year, hopefully. It depends on the blooming cancer and everything else. But, 6 months is also Oakleaf Pagan Camp, so that'll be good. Right, one more go round, Ruby, and then these will be sufficiently shuffled. So then, dragons, what do we think? Ruby's career change in the next 6 months. Let's have a look. So, let's do your cut. Oh, there we go. A slidey cut. I think it's just the angle of the camera. The angle of the dangle. Right, so we've got the Hermit coming in. Patience, my darling. Oh, the 7 of Wands. A bit of insecurity happening at the moment, though. You need some patience. Oh, 7. Oh, God, Jesus, that does take us to July. 2 7s. Now, don't get too excited because these two are reversed. So let me go through this. The Hermit, this is the energy you've had coming in to where you are now. So this is the energy that's been around you for the last, maybe the last month, the last 6 weeks, the last, maybe even longer than that. I think this has been a bit, have you been stuck in a rut? Have you felt like you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years? And I kind of mean that, actually, like, because the Hermit is all about being away from people, being away from situations, and quite often you have to do that in order to be able to grow and to seek that inner wisdom. You know, it's like the character in Monty Python and the Life of Brian who is in the hole and he hasn't said a word for years and years and years and years and years, and then Brian comes along and stands on him and he goes, "Oh, you bugger," or whatever he says, and it's that kind of, goes, "Oh, I broke the vow of silence," and Brian says, "Shut up, shush, shush, shush." He goes, "No, I won't bloody shut up, I've been silent for 47 years. It's that kind of Hermit energy where you've done that of your own back, of your own accord, to take yourself out of a situation and to gain some wisdom. But then we've got these 2 7s, and I don't like them because they're reversed. And I don't like the connotation of that, my darling. So you're asking about, will there be career changes? Yes, I think there absolutely will be a period of upheaval. And when I said 7, because likewise, I was calculating in my head when that is likely to be, and that is July. And July is the 7th month, and we've got 2 7s. This is a sign. This is what we call in tarot and in witchcraft a sign. So ignore this at your peril, although, as I always say, you make all your own decisions about your own life. So the 7 of Wands is about your security. And this is where things are kind of like, you could muddle on where you are and in the position you are. You could keep going, I guess, but it would feel very monotonous. It would feel very same, very Groundhog Day. It would feel like another day at the factory. And, oh God, can I stomach, how many more another days can I actually stomach before I go a bit loopy? But this reversal is saying that this insecurity is coming in. So it may well be that the decision about your job isn't going to be in your hands. Could there be redundancies? Could there be job losses in the pipeline? The reason I'm saying that is because the Seven of Pentacles is about money, but it's also about a loss or a pausing, waiting too long here. So if it was this way up, you'd be looking at what you've grown. Look at all these wonderful bush with all this lovely fruit on. The fruit is gold coins. Amazing. You're such a wonderful gardener. You're just going to wait until they're fully ripe to pluck, because if you look, the gold is still a bit pink around the edges. It's not how we like our gold, not quite ripe enough yet. You need to just wait a little bit longer till the gold is nice and ripe and shiny. However, it's reversed, which means either that fruit is never going to ripen, you're never going to get what you've been promised, my darling. That career, that financial boost, that raise, that promotion is not going to happen in the way that you think it is, or you're leaving it too late. And 6 months time is going to be too late, because this again is talking about those 2 sevens. Dragons, I want one more card. We're going to take the top card. Make it be the decider. Is this going to be a positive or a negative in terms of the career path in July onwards? So the end of the year. We don't normally do this, Dragon, so I want the end of the year. This card's already here. I'm not changing the card. This is the card we're going to have. The top card, which is... oh, it's the 2 of Pentacles. It's another reversed work card. So I do think there's some sort of partnership here that is going to split. Maybe the office is going to be, you know, maybe there's been a workplace partnership that is splitting. In other words, you know, W and H Smith are splitting. That's a UK company. I can't think of anything else right now. B and Q are separating. You know, it's that sort of thing. Sainsbury's and Homebase are no longer under the same roof. There's something here where there's going to be this separation of this unity, because 2 is all about this continuation look, and there is going to be this upheaval. So I do think there's definitely a career change. Whether it's a change for the better, I think at the moment it's still a little bit far away for the cards to clearly see, but it does look like there's going to be some upheavals. It could well be, as I say, this could well be job losses, and then they promise redundancy, and when it comes to it, that those redundancies don't get paid out. So again, this is just a silly idiot on the internet looking at some pretty pictures with a top-down camera, you know what I mean? But if I had to say what I would do in this situation faced with these cards, to be honest with you, I would start updating my CV about now. You know what I mean? I would start downloading all of the local job details, the job fairs, the job sites, all of that, and I would start looking quietly behind the scenes, just because it feels kind of like when this, whatever this is, when this is announced, it feels like there's going to be a lot of people in a similar situation. So yeah, just bear that in mind. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, my darling. I hope it does, but that is your reading. Right, let's pop back onto the live. Okay, my darling, I hope that helps. I really, really do hope that helps. Oh yeah, I did. I did. We loved Lena very much, even though she was a cow. We did love her very much. Asha Kumari, I will pop your question in, but you do need to. Thank you, Holland. Thank you, Holland. You're such a blooming star. Thank you. I've popped that question in, but if you just put the word question first, that would be really helpful. Oh, it did resonate a lot. Thank you, my darling. I hope that helps. I really, really do. Right then, we're going to move on to the next reading. Izzy222. Izzy222. Is the Azalea 222? Was that a thing? Was that a song? Am I getting my people and my song titles and everything else mixed up? Probably. There's nobody called Izzy Azalea, and probably the 222 is just the number that I saw on the bus, you know, going to Peckham or something. I don't know. I don't know anything. Izzy222, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat, and excuse me, I will get your reading done. By the way, everybody, if you would like to support the channel a little bit more, you can do. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button, and then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding your bell, and make sure your settings are changed to all. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video. But if you would like to support myself and this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. Thanks so much for those of you choosing to support me. Okay, so Izzy222, it looks like you have moved on. I will leave your question up in on my starred list. So if you do pop back in, I will try and get back round to you. Palandi, Rita Palandi, if you're here, my darling, can you please come and say hello in the live chat? Do remember, if you're asking a question, I will get to you as soon as I can. If you would like to Q jump, you can do. You just do that by hitting the donate button there and donating over on buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. That will get you a Q jump. Also, for channel members over there, you automatically will get a Q jump on Tarot Tuesdays as well. So, yeah. That's just the way it is going to be moving forward. On Psychic Sundays, when I do the longer form readings and we get into it and we get all sorts of intuitive flashes and all sorts of things happening, we won't be doing that because we've got a very small number of readings that we can do on the Sunday because they get so complicated. Hence the reason for doing multiple streaming days now. Rita, I've got you, my darling. You are here. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Right, I've got your question up. It says, hey, Lisa, question no, every single time, can you please help me with what's coming next for me? I have been going through a really tough time. Can you please tell me how and when will it get better and what will happen after? It feels like you need, what do we need? Do we need insight? We need insight. We need the vice versa. Right, we're going for the vice versa deck. So Amrita, what is to come? And you've been going through a tough time, really. How and when will it get better? And what will happen after? Right, complicated question, but I will do my best to answer it for you, my darling. So then, dragons. By the way, if you don't know what I talk about when I say dragons, I am going to do a little video just on the dragons. Me and Neil were talking about it yesterday when we were filming the next podcast episode, which is up tomorrow on this channel, Witchy Wednesday with me and Neil. By the way, Holland, we would like to get you on the channel, on the podcast as well at some point, discussing your Etsy shop and your inspirations behind there. Don't worry, I've already asked Patricia to come on as well, so it's going to be fabulous. But yes, so what... please can you tell me how and when it will get better and what will happen after? So then, dragons, Rita wants to know, they've been going through a bad patch. When will it get better? What will happen afterwards? And how do they find their way through this blooming mess that they are kind of wading through at the moment? It feels a bit like, again, intuitively, I'm this was me saying this is just going to be tarot, no intuition, just tarot. Can't do that. It feels like, is it Sleeping Beauty? It must be Sleeping Beauty because it's not Snow White. Sleeping Beauty, where the castle is all full of like the thorns and they're all like mottled and all like that, aren't they? They're all like, bleh, and they're all sticky and pointy and horrible. And then the prince comes along with the sword? It's like chop 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 chop. Although, is it the prince or is it actually his like knight or something that chop it down and then he just comes in at the end and gives her a kiss? Whatever it is, I can't remember. Anyway, forget about that. It's Disney and it's outdated and horrendous. But what I was trying to say, Amrita, in my long-winded way, is it feels like your castle, if you like, your place where you are now, your psychic space, is kind of like that castle. It's got all of these thorns and vines and all this sort of roses, all these like shrubbery growing up around it, and it feels like it just needs that person to come along with the weed whacker or with the chainsaw to like get rid of it all and to release you from where you are. But dragons, we want to know how Amrita gets through this and when it will get better. So let's have a look. I'm going to do your cut now. Here we go. We don't have a modifying card, so we'll do your cut. How can I do the cut? Right, I'm going to have to hide the cards like this so we don't get... There we go. So that's your cut. So that I don't get... I'm always wary of like having people say, oh, well, I can see the cards, therefore that means I'm somehow influencing them. So I try really hard not to have that happen. Right. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, right, my darling. This might not be the answer that you are looking for, but it's the only answer I can give because it is as authentic an answer as I can actually give you. So let's have a little wee look. So it says here, in the past, this is the recent past, we've got the 10 of Wands. Now, this is the back of the card. Oh, there you go, too high up, you can't see it. This is the back of the card. There's not a lot of differences on this card, except for, look at this figure. Not there during the daylight, is there during the evening, the nighttime, when we're like feel our loneliness, aloneness, are most alone. when we feel we are on our own the most, however you put that into an actual single word, that word. So the wands is all about security, but this doesn't feel very secure to me. Look at this. You've bundled up everything that is secure and you're taking it with you. You are taking this from almost from where it's like you've packed up your home and you're moving somewhere else and you're taking all of the possessions with you, but you're leaving a lot of yourself behind. Does that make sense? And it may be that you're not doing a physical move. This could be very, very much down to the spiritual, the esoteric. But it does really feel like you are being almost forced, for your own safety, for your own good, to pick up and move on from a situation. And it's something which I think is right for you. Absolutely, 100%. This is right for you. And it's something that will end positively in the long term, but in the short term, you're going to have some obstacles, my darling. Now you're asking when and how it will get better. It will, but not for a little while. So we've got the Queen of Swords, right? So swords is trouble and strife and challenges. Now, challenges are not something to run away from. Challenges are something that help us grow. I always talk about a caterpillar, right? You've got a caterpillar on a leaf, munching away, quite happy, and all of a sudden it goes, oh, do you know what? I think I'm going to make some silk out of my bottom, and I'm going... I think that's how they do it. I don't know. And I'm going to use that to make a cocoon, and I'm going to live in my cocoon because I'm done with the world. I've eaten all the apples. I've had all these leaves. I was very, very hungry caterpillar, and now I'm not so hungry. So I'm going to just wrap myself up in this lovely cocoon and chill for a bit. And then you do that, and you're in your lovely cocoon, and then it's like, ow, oh, ow, everything hurts, ow, oh, everything, ow, oh, it hurts, oh, it's so painful. And then you're like, oh, I'm really stuck in my cocoon, I can't get out, help, help, help. And you finally break through the cocoon, and suddenly you're a beautiful butterfly or a lovely moth, and you've got wings, and off you go, and you fly around and then get eaten by a hawk. Yeah, forget that last bit, right? But that's the metaphor for change, isn't it? And so obstacles, challenges are how we change. That's what is sent to try us. And I believe very firmly that the universe only ever sends us what we can handle. It might bend us. It might bend us to the point of a green stick fracture, but we won't ever break. We've just got to have faith that there will be a way out. Now, the Queen of Swords here is very feminine type energy, so it could be a female person, it could be somebody who just has that sort of stereotypical nurturing vibe about them. It could even be yourself, my darling, but it feels very much like there is this coldness here, there is this distance because of this ice. I mean, actually I think it's supposed to be a crystal, but for me it just looks like an ice cave. It looks like, here, look, this is what she looks like on the front. She's sitting on her throne on top of the mountain with all of that ice and snow around her. And this is where you are at the moment, feeling a little bit ostracized, a little bit left out of things, a little bit left out in the cold. And I do think that this has kind of been going on for a little while. It feels like you've had to pack up everything, and as you're moving on, it feels like you've left a hell of a lot behind, all the things that gave you joy. But in the next, so again, I only really see 6 weeks, unless we get a specifically longer question. In the next 6 weeks, there is going to be a significant new challenge, a new project. Now, as I say, don't get disheartened by the word challenge or by the word obstacle, because this is going to be something that you are going to learn a load from. And look at this laurel wreath here that this bird is bringing us. So this laurel wreath isn't it's not a negative sign, it's a positive sign. It's a sign of wisdom. It's a sign of taking up political power. It's a sign of taking up, you know, all of that authority. It's a sign of taking up the wisdom and knowledge, and actually moving forward and using it. But that doesn't happen unless you don't gain wisdom by sitting on your backside in a nice cozy room being given everything you've ever wanted. You only gain wisdom by having to go out and hunt down the meals and hunt down the knowledge and hunt down all of those things that you're seeking. If everything comes to you on a silver tray, you don't learn anything, arguably. The flip side of this, look, you can see it's a much brighter side here. But for me, the darkness isn't negative. It's about intuition. The darkness on these cards is talking about looking within. It's your spiritual side. So I do think there is going to be a change. I think we're looking at 6 weeks' time, to be honest with you, when things start shifting. And that is when you're going to be finding what all of this has meant, because it feels like at the moment it feels like there's just no purpose, and it feels like you're just like, I think you've even had this conversation, Amrita, where you're literally saying, I don't understand why this is happening to me. I don't understand, like, what is the point? What is the purpose behind this? And it's going to take you a little while for that to come out. Dragons, I'm going to ask for one more card from the center of the deck, because we can't do the next top one, because obviously this deck is biased that way. We get to see what it is, but I'm just going to pull one card from the middle of the deck, and that's what we want to have, a slightly longer term, Dragons. So the next 6 weeks to 6 months, so between the middle of February and the middle of July. So we're just going to, I don't know whether you can see, we're just going to pull, is it this card? I don't know. We're just going to pull, oh bloody hell, it's another 7. Right, July. Again, July, you've got an icky time, or a time of discovery, until July. Okay, so it's going to be, you're going to get given a lot of other people's stuff to deal with, and between February and July, you're going to get a lot of, it's going to feel like you're taking on a lot of other people's stuff. But what you're going to be able to do is actually look at the similarities in the card. Look, so this person's struggling with their own, this person's struggling with their own security. This person is struggling to carry other people's issues, and eventually they get dropped. So I think between February and July, you're going to have this growth period where a lot of people are going to put their stuff on you, their shiz on you. It's going to be like they are giving you their shiz, their stuff, their poop, right? They're going to give you their problems. I'm trying to be mindful of YouTube's new procedures in terms of swear words, and I think that is going to be something that you are going to take on board quite happily. It's not that other people are it's not a negative thing. They're going to give you their problems, you're going to help them solve them, and then when we get through to that July time, that's when you get sick of it, and that's when you do actually drop, and not you drop like drop down, but it's when you drop their issues and you start only taking forward the stuff that you can handle. But I think there's that learning curve around boundaries. I'm really drawn, I don't know why, Amrita, I don't know why, like, this is what, that's 4 cards. I'm going to pull you a single card, one single card from the star studded. So Dragons, I know, right, we never do this, we never do 5 cards. So Dragons, we want to have a single card from the center of this deck, and in fact I'll bring it slightly down so we can all see the backs, because this is a beautiful deck, and what we want, Dragons, is we want a single card that's going to show us how we actually how we get through it, how Amrita finds the way out of these obstacles. Okay, very, very simple. One card, and we're just going to pull it from, where are we going to pull it from? Come on, we're going to put it from there. Let's have a look. You're discovering this along with me. We've got the 9 of, no, it's the Hermit. It's the Hermit. Right. Okay, you're going to get yourself out of the situation altogether. So July time, between February and July, lots of stuff to learn, lots of things boundaries to put in place, dealing with other people's shiz to deal with, all of that. And then when we get around July, you are going to completely go off, what's it called? Off grid. You're going to completely like take yourself out of that situation, ghost the people that have been causing you the issues. You are going to completely disappear from that circle and take that time to heal, to go inward, to look at your life, to look at what those other cards have been saying to you, those other challenges that you've had, and you're going to look and find those lessons. And those lessons are going to oh, this is such a cool card. What's it called? July 7. I was about to say 7. Yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense, Lisa. 7 is not a month. July to the end of the year is going to be your time of working out what these lessons mean for you. And more importantly than that, Amrita, it's going to be your time of understanding the lessons and understanding the wisdom that comes from it. As I say, they're called growing pains for a reason. And with that, my darling, I wish you nothing but the very, 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 very best of luck with everything. And yeah, I am sure, absolutely positive that you will get through this. And when you are on the other side of it, like literally this time next year, when you're in the start of 2024, you may sit there and go, my God, what an interesting year that was. But you will be so grateful for the lessons that you learn over this coming 12 months. Seriously, it's going to be a really, really, really great learning curve, and I hope that really helps. Right, so sorry everybody that was waiting on readings. Sometimes it just happens that we have to go longer because that's just, you know, the way of things. What are we talking about on the chat? We're talking about the decks. Yes, we've got some amazing decks in at the moment. So the double-sided deck, yeah, the vice versa deck is beautiful. It's the one I read for quite regularly. Look at that, it just popped up there, the Justice card. So you wouldn't recognize that necessarily as Justice. You might recognize that one though. So, you know, the seated figure with the scales and the blindfold and the sword, you know, you've got this whole element. And this is I think this is Ra, is it, the Egyptian sun god? So you've got like the judgment from on high. You are that person, you are wielding the universal justice. But then this side of it, look, you've got I can't remember the name of that Egyptian god because I'm not very good with my Egyptian pantheon. But anyway, you've got the tools. This is the back of the throne. This is what happens afterwards. You've got this cosmos here. So this justice isn't just planetary, it's universal. You've got this ancient wisdom coming through that justice is leading. And this is talking about much more like the spiritual justice. This is talking about karma and fate, whereas this is talking much more about legal and what is, you know, the laws of the land and all of that, and the way that you treat people, whereas this is talking in the grander way. And I love this deck. I absolutely friggin' love it. The only thing I don't like, and it's something you can never do, but when you're shuffling, you kind of like, I have to not look, and now I'm not even looking at the screen, so I'm hoping that you can see where, oh gosh, there we go, look, let's make the cards jump. I'm hoping that you can see that when you're shuffling, you can see the cards as they're going through your hands. Anyway, that's the only downside. Right, let's have a look. Who have we got up next? Mr. Subin. If you are here, my darling, come and say hello in the live chat. Actually, it's nearly an hour ago that you popped your question in, so I hope you're still here, Mr. Subin. If so, you're asking, when will the bad days end? So if you are still here, come and say hello in the live chat. Don't forget, if you've got a question in, do just hang around until I call you. We're going to go on till about, I said 9:30. Maybe we'll go through till 10. I don't know. I'm feeling it tonight. There's been a question from Yvonne. Yep, I've got that one in Holland. I've got that in. Momo Batiste. That's an amazing name. Hi, Anubis. Thank you very much. No, Anubis is the one I was thinking of. Patricia, you are you're the font of all knowledge. You really are. You are. That looked like my leg there. Look at that. It looks like a kneecap. No, just my arm. Right, Mr. Subis, it looks like you are not here either. Eliza, are you here, my darling? Eliza, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat. That would be absolutely lovely. Is Eliza here? Seminar Mekik, if you are wanting a reading, you pop the word question in front of your question. Same with you, Momo. If you want a question, pop the word question in front of your question, and then I will star it and it will get moved across. Hello, There we go, Eliza. Eliza is here. So let me just pop your question on screen. So you want to know, may I know when R will meet me personally? Oh, a little bit. Is this a little bit of a romance thing? I think this does feel very romancy, doesn't it? It feels like, yes, it does feel a little bit romancy. Unless R is like, let me think. Is there any celebrity I know whose name begins with R? Rowan Atkinson. There you go. Unless you want to meet Rowan Atkinson personally and get an autograph from Mr. Bean himself. Isn't it bad that was the first? It tells you a lot. Tells you a lot, doesn't it? That was the first person, celeb person I could think of with an R in their name. How sad am I? Oh my God. Rod Stewart, I could have said. There could have been lots of them. Seminar Mickey, as I said, you do need to put the word question followed by the question. It is on the screen, just there. Look, there. Look, here it says. That's the rules. That's the rules. That's the rules. All right, Ed, my darling. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for popping in today. I will see you again very soon. Right, Eliza. How may I know when will R meet me personally? So then, dragons. Clearing the energy. We would like to know, dragons, when is R going to meet up with Eliza? It feels like there's a longing, a yearning for each other, possibly, or maybe not for each other. Oh, why did I just get that flash then, dragons? What was that flash? Give it back or take it off. If it's not for Eliza, then take it off. What is that flash about? When I said there's a mutual, a yearning, a desire. Okay, interesting. Right, I don't know what they're trying to... We've got a card jump. You literally saw it jumped out the deck and then bounced. So we've got the Three of Pentacles coming up as a modifying card for you. Now, a modifier or clarifying card is literally just a card that, how can I put it? It's a card that clarifies and modifies the other three cards around it. So this just gives us a bit of extra nuance. So all the cards are filtered through this. Now, for me, the Three of Pentacles is about learning. Even though if you look at it, it looks almost like a couple with a baby. A baby. That's not what it is. It actually is supposed to represent three classes of people. So we've got the tradesman and the the learned, the tradespeople. So the people with an education but that are educated with their hands. So the sculptors, the artists, the woodcutters, all of that. Then over here we have the monk. Now the monks represent education in terms of the learned, the ones who can read and pass on the information, and they're the ones who pass on, the laws of the land, whether that be biblical or societal. It kind of gets filtered through this type of learned person. And then the third cast here we have the fools, the jesters, the unlearned, the great unwashed, if you like, the clowns, the people that don't have it in them, arguably, to learn a trade or to become learned themselves. So this card is really talking about that there is some learning to do here. There is something involving education, some scholarly thing. So I don't know what that means for you, Eliza. It could mean September when the kids are back at school. I don't know how old you are, but obviously, hopefully, as it does say on the bottom of the screen, you do need to be 18 years of age or over to get a reading on this channel. So hopefully you are over 18. Because yeah, if not, then that's bad. But there is some education, learning, coursework, classes, something here around this, possibly to do with your work or employment, because it's the Pentacles and because Pentacles often means work and employment. But again, it can just mean studying. He is in the third party. Oh gosh, that's funny. Right, Samina, stop asking questions, my darling, because you're blocking the feed, and you keep asking, and unfortunately, my darling, yeah, you're just blocking the feed now, which means the more you do that, the less likely I am to read for you, my darling. Samina, if R is more of the clown, let's I tell you what, let's just go with, I'm not going to interrupt what I'm trying to say. Let's just do your reading. That was a single drop, a nice drop. Let's have a look. Right, okay. Right, okay. So in the past position, we've got the 10 of wands. So wands is about security. Okay, what did that just move then? Did that camera, why has it gone? There we go. So 10 is feeling quite secure, feeling quite detailed, if you like, feeling that you are quite confident in the situation with R. But I think things didn't really feel that way for very long, if that makes sense. It feels almost like, I mean, the fact that you've said he's the clown, and this is the only deck that I have where we have the Fool or that sort of clown energy within this card. So yeah, the 10 here is talking about you feeling quite confident, quietly confident as well, and quite secure in the friendship, the relationship, the connection that you have with R. However, where you are now, you're blooming frustrated, love. You're just frustrated. You're just like, come on, I'm sick of this. You've got the Hangman. Now, again, the Hangman's come up a couple of times today. If you look, don't be too worried about this card. Look, if you look, the rope around his foot isn't tied, and look at that face. That is not somebody who is like, oh no, I'm upside down. Yeah, quite happily being upside down. Oh, the blood's rushing to my head. It's better than any drug. Oh, look at me. I'm so king. I'm so quirky. Look at me. Aren't I a quirky person hanging upside down? Oh, I'm like a bat. Look how quirky I am. Quite happy being upside down, but the card itself is reversed. Now what that means is that you are taking too long. It's like you don't mind waiting for a bit, but now this is just getting frustrating, and it feels almost like you've been played a little bit. I wouldn't go so far as to say you've been catfished, but it does feel very much like, you know, the things that were promised haven't happened yet, even though they should have done by the time scale you were promised them. Does that make sense, my darling? Especially because in the future position, we've got the 7 of Swords. It's come up again. This is taking on too much, and eventually taking on so much that you've got no choice but to leave things behind and get out of there. Does that make sense? 8 months long waiting. Good Lord. That's a long time. I think that you're just going to have to cut your losses and run eventually. I don't think you're quite there yet, my darling, but I do think you're going to cut your losses and run if it doesn't move soon. And from what the cards are saying, I don't think it's going to. I think that this lesson, it's like it's a lesson. I don't think you're learning this lesson. The fact that you said he's the Fool, I think he needs to learn this lesson. It's like, oh my God, he could have had you. He could have had you. This could have been a wonderful thing. You and R, or sorry, I'm assuming their gender. You and R could have been this wonder. Oh, it's because you said he is. Right, that's why. I was thinking, why am I saying he? Because you said. But like you could have been this really good connection, you could have been this really good kind of bond, blah blah blah, all of these things. However, because they've left you waiting and left you hanging and left you on hold and ghosted you for so long, and now you're just like, it's like you just want to move on now. I do think you're going to give it a little bit longer, and I do think that eventually you are going to feel like enough is enough and you're going to move on. The only way around it for them is to get off their backside and start doing what they said that they were going to do, if that makes sense. Whether he will or not, there's nothing here in the card saying that, my darling. I think you're going to have to make a decision, and you're not going to do it now. And I know that part of you, your head is going to say to you, yeah, absolutely, Lisa's right. You know, cut me losses, get out of here while the going's good. And actually what's more than likely to happen is that, you know, in 3 months time you'll still be dangling along at the end of his at the end of his rod, like a fish waiting to be put into the net, until eventually you are the one that will go, enough, just enough. Sometimes that's an interesting comment. Sometimes a soulmate isn't necessarily the person that you are connected to for life. I think there are different levels of soulmates and different types of soulmates, and sometimes the people that teach us, I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us. No, who I've lost the plot now because I messed up the words. Basically, there was a song in Wicked where they are talking about you are drawn to the people that teach you. Doesn't necessarily mean that that person is a forever soulmate that you are going to be intertwined with like this with your lives moving forward. It could just be that you've come together for you to learn your life's lesson, and then you go off your way, he goes off his way. But on your new journey, you've learned those lessons that you needed to learn, and that actually moving forward, you're going to say, oh, I'm really glad that I met R and that, you know, it turned out he was a prize twonk, because actually that means I was free of that situation. And then 6 months later, I met Tony, and Tony is the most amazing person, and I love them so much. And I never would have done that if art, you know what I mean? Sometimes we need that connection to go awry in order to bounce us off in the right direction. Anyway, Eliza, I hope that helps, my darling. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, exactly, ma'am. I don't know if I like being called ma'am, but anyway, it's fine. It's just because I'm old. I'm an old haggard woman these days, my darling. So yeah. Also, I need to take a sip of Coke or something. Actually, I think it's Diet Pepsi. Not that I'm sponsored, but hey, Diet Pepsi, send me some free Pepsi. Like that's ever going to happen. Right, while I take a slip of this, a slip. Oh dear, a slurp of my drink. I am going to hit this button. So yes. I've got them. Oh, can you hear me? Oh, my headphones cut out then. I've got them, Holland. Thank you. Right. So I've got quite a few questions still in, actually. Oh, hang on. I've got Sherry's. I haven't got Momo's, so maybe I haven't. Right. Bear with me. Let me just scoop back up, 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 scoop back up. I'm scooping back up. I'm scooping back up the chat. There we go. I've got it. Got it. Thank you, Holland. Wow, I've still got 11 questions in. This is going to be a bonkers. Is it 9:30 already? Wow. Right. Okay. I don't know how many we've done tonight. Loads. Right. So I need to take that one out, that one out, and that one out. So Akshara, are you here, my darling? If so, come and say hello in that there live chat. Come and say hello, and I will get your reading up next. Samina, right? Unfortunately, we've said. Oh no, hang on. No, that was an old question. It's 25 to 10. Oh God. Srinivas Ras, truly love. No, Arcana Rayo, you need to pop the word question followed by your question, otherwise I can't see it clearly. Hi dear, Akshana is here. Fabulous. Right, I am let's have a look at your question first of all. Will I find love this year? A nice simple question, a yes or no, and we're going to go with what are we going to go with? We're going to go with I'm drawn to this deck. I'm drawn to this the what is it? The stars. The star spinner. I nearly said the sun carriage. What the heck is going on with my brain tonight? The sun carriage deck. That very famous deck, sun carriage. Yes. Take a random astronomical thing, add it to a word that could mean a place, put the two together, and no, not a place, is it? A carriage, a vehicle, put the two together, and then add deck on the end. So yeah, this is officially the Mars launcher deck. I mean, that makes sense. Did you hear, by the way, the UK relaunched a whole load of satellites and they all didn't leave the thing and ended up costing the UK like millions of pounds, and it was quite funny. It was quite funny. They went up on a great big like 7470 thing, and then the rocket took off from that, and they were supposed to go into the atmosphere and release the satellites, but then they couldn't get the door unlocked, so they all just crashed back to Earth. I mean, NASA put people on the moon, and bloomin' what's his face, Elon Musk, like him or hate him, you know, has created his own space thing, and so's Richard Branson. They've got all their own space companies, and we can't even get the door to open. It's like we're stuck in an elevator going, hello, hello, can you call an engineer, please? I'd like to get out. Ridiculous. Anyway, right, Akshara, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Will you find love this year? Let's have a look. We haven't got a card jump, but let's do your drop. There we go. Oh, is that the cut? That's the cut. A nice simple cut. So the cards are feeling it tonight, my darling. They are feeling very definitive. Here we go. We're doing a 3 card. We're going to get an overall picture from the 3 cards. So we have the 3 of Wands. Look at that. Look at that lovely fairy there. Look at that. Even though I don't work with a fae, I do quite like the imagery on this deck. I think it's beautiful. It's not a Tinkerbell fairy, is it? It's more of a chunky fairy, and I love that. I love body diversity on this deck. Next up, we've got the 2 of Swords reversed. Interesting in the present. And then look what's coming in. We've got the Magician energy. Right, so the pattern goes in the previous few months. I don't know if this is a few months, maybe even longer. You've had this kind of feeling of making do. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it feels like that. So yeah, it feels like you've been making do. Now, I don't know whether that means in a relationship or without a relationship, but you've kind of been like toddling along and doing what you need to do. You haven't really been doing a heck of a lot, if that makes sense. You haven't actually been, you know, moving forward with romance and things. So it's a very interesting kind of position to be in, because it's not a bad position, you know what I mean? It's like you've been comfortable in your own space, you've been comfortable, you know, being around friends and stuff, but not necessarily being with that one, and you find it been okay with that. Like, you've got a bit of comfort there. This has become your new normal. So it's not as if you're like you're you know, wailing at the side of the road every time a tall handsome stranger walks past going, oh please, why haven't you picked me? You know, you're not in that situation. Not that anybody ever does that, just me then, but but it does feel like you found peace with what you've got at the moment. But then this comes along to screw things up, and this is, I think there's been a shift. I think you've gone from feeling okay, like who's changed your mindset. It feels like something has changed. Now, this could be that you've had a relationship change, right? It doesn't feel like a love. It feels more like a friendship or a family member that's stuck their oar in. They have said something to you that's kind of gone, actually, you might have a point. And I don't like the fact you've got a point, but you might have a point. And I'm really unhappy that you've made me think that you've got a point. Damn it. And you've got that sort of feeling about it, because swords for me is always about trouble and strife. It's about obstacles, challenges, the things in life that are sent to try us. And the 2s is a connection with somebody else, but this is reverse. So the connection has come apart, and it feels like bad words. This is bad words have driven you apart. This isn't a partner that you were with. This is somebody else about your situation. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Let me just pull the chat up just in case you're saying that it does. Quite happy in your skin. Yes, there you are, you see. So it does make absolute sense. Now, this is the thing that I'm very aware of, is the fact that the Magician card here is also a card that could be taken 2 ways, right? So the Magician is normally a really positive card. I'll show you the card in this deck. It looks almost like a stylized what's it called, elf, or like the Dungeon Master from Dungeons and Dragons from back in the 80s, the cartoon. But look, there's the face, the beard's down here, the hair's flowing, there's the hat. So it's kind of this gnome, not elf, a gnome, that's the word I was looking for, a gnome type energy. And the Magician is somebody who creates the universe around them, changes the world around them, creates the situation for themselves, which is phenomenal, amazing. But the Magician can also be seen as a manipulator. Now, if this is you taking control, then that is absolutely amazing. That is wonderful. That is absolutely bonkers in good. However, if this Magician reflects this person and this separation, then be very careful, because this manipulation could be affecting you. I think, in all honesty, with it being the right way up, I think it's actually going to be a positive change. Now, you're asking a very specific question about will you find love. I think this change is what's going to lead to that. Okay, so just look at something here, right? I look at patterns, I feel energies. Look at the pattern. We've got this warm energy here, this warm yellow light. Everything was kind of comfortable. Everything was that snuggly feeling before the alarm clock goes off. Everything's nice and snuggly, nice and warm. You're quite happy in your bed, that lovely warm feeling. Then this is the alarm going off. Everything changes. Wah, 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 wah. Lots of crash, bang, wallops. Everything suddenly changes. Chaos, chaos, chaos ensues. And it's very cold. You get out of bed and it's freezing, and I've got to run to the bathroom, and I've got, I need to put, it's so cold. And then this is that warm energy coming back, coming back in. Hang on. And that energy that's coming back in is red, which is lust and love and pink and gold. This is a very warm, rich energy that you've got coming in. Excuse me. That Pepsi is repeating on me. I do apologize. Dragons, one more card. Fourth card. We want to know yay or nay for February onwards. Yay or nay February onwards. It's not February, is it? It's March. Right. Yay or nay March onwards. Let's have a look. What have we got? We've got... What was that? Oh, it's the page. I wonder, I couldn't work out what that symbol was. It's a P. So it's the Page of Wands reversed. Now, this is really interesting, because wands, again, is your sense of security. This is Wee Willie Winky in his nightgown. What this says to me is that actually there is this... How can I put it? I'm just gonna put it. I was trying to put it politely. I think there's a bit of childishness here, maybe a little bit of selfishness coming into play in terms of why you're wanting to find love. Does that make sense? It's like, it almost feels like you don't want it because actually you're feeling a bit lonely and you want to have that special person who, you know, you wake up next to and you share your life with. It almost feels like this is a reaction to what's been said. I hope that makes sense. And it's kind of like, is that the right reason for you to make this change? You know what I mean? It's like, it's coming, but just make sure that if you are looking for love, and if you are making some big changes in the next few weeks, make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, and not that it's just a knee-jerk reaction. Because if you're quite happy being on your own and single, then you be on your own and single, my darling. Nothing says you have to have a partner, a special person, or any of that BS. If you like your own life and your own space and all of that, then great, that's phenomenal. Just go with what is right for you, because it kind of feels here that there's almost this sorry to call you to call you out on it, sorry, but yeah, you this is it. You see, I don't think you're asking the right question, but for the wrong reasons. I don't think it's going to come your way at the moment, because it's not something you actually want. You're much more happy being on your own and like doing all of that. Yeah, doing all of that. Like, you're much happier doing that than you would be like lumbering yourself with someone that you're not really into. I hope that helps. I really do hope that helps. Right, let's have a look. For everyone that's asking for questions, I've still got 10 questions in. I'm going through them as fast as I can. If you're asking like for your question to be, if you're asking why your question's not come through yet, it's because I've still got 10 in the list. So I'm going through them. Hang on. If I take Akshara's off the list, we're down to 9. So I've got 9 to get through. I'm calling time in 14 minutes, so I will do my best to get through as many of these as I can. And as I've said repeatedly, the only way to queue jump is to go across to buymeacoffee.com, which is just up there, look, and go and donate over there, and then I can queue jump you. But that is the only way to do it, I'm afraid. I can't go any faster than I am. Eleanor, are you still here, my darling? Eleanor, if you are, I've got your question up. Eleanor, if you're here, then come and say hello in that there live chat. Is that Eleanor? Nope. No worries, Akshara. No worries. Don't get pressured into it. Don't get pressured into it. If you're not feeling the need for a partner right now, don't have a partner right now. You've got the rest of your life to find that. Just go with what is right now. Go with what is right for you right now. It's a lot of rights, isn't there? But yeah, absolutely, my darling. No problem. Hopefully we will see you again. Eleanor, you're here. Fantastic. Right, let's get your question up, Eleanor. You are wanting to know. You are a newbie. Fantastic. I need advice. Okay. What to do with your life in terms of career? What is the best for you? Right then, Eleanor. Sorry, I've just done what I never do. I've just taken a mouthful of drink whilst I'm still actually live without putting a little thing on. So I do apologize if you have misophonia. Right, dragons. Eleanor would like to know some advice to do with their career, please. Do you know, as soon as the question came up, Eleanor, my immediate response was aminals. Aminals. You know what that is, don't you? AMINALS. Aminals. No, animals. Like something to do with animal care. Or something involved with training animals. Do you do that already? Is there something? Are you training blind dogs for the? No, blind dogs for the guides. Yeah, that's well done, Lise. Guide dogs for the blind. Like, is there something going on with animals or farming that you're already kind of doing or that you're thinking about? What's going on with that? Let me just have a look. There's something. Is it dog? Is it right? Either, Eleanor, you've got animals around you, like literally right now, in terms of dogs and cats and things, and that's what I'm picking up on. Or you that's where you need to head. Something to do with animal care, animal husbandry. It's either that, or if you're a photographer. You're going to take pictures of animals. Animal portraiture. Or you could be a model. Because I'm seeing this. I tell you what I've got in my mind's eye, right? As soon as the question came up, it was like this image of somebody wearing a white top. Now, for me, that immediately speaks of doctor or vet. But they're holding, it's like they're posing for one of these vets. You know, the photos they have up in the vets. And they're stood there. And they're like, there's a dog on a lead sat to their, hang on, it'll be to their left by their foot. Is it a spaniel, a Charles Spaniel, a thingy spaniel? What's the brown and white spaniel? Don't know. Anyway, so there's a dog there, but then also on your other foot, it almost feels like there's a cat and a rabbit, which doesn't make much sense. So it's like a staged picture. Whether this is vet school or whether this is photography of animals, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, we'll have a little look. But that was the first intuitive. As soon as the question popped up, I was like, oh, animals, what's going on with this? Yeah, no, that was two drops. That wasn't a single drop. Right then, Slow Dragons. Eleanor would like some career that was a card that very clearly dropped. Some career advice. Right, 5 of Pentacles. So you're feeling stuck right now in your work situation. You're feeling that you are trapped. So look at the 5 of Pentacles. This person is like a learned knight in a cloak, lovely, shiny armor. They're not this version of them, like the beggar on the street outside the church. So they're in this church, bathed in golden light, all the wealth, all the loveliness streaming in through the stained glass window. Isn't that gorgeous? But they've got their head in their hands because they are trapped in this workplace. They are trapped in this situation. It's kind of like the gilded cage, the gilded prison. And so it feels very much like that's kind of where you're feeling right now in terms of your career. Pentacles is all about money, career, finances. So and also sort of like the things that we have to still work at in life. Right, let's have a look at your drop. So we've got, again, Pentacles. Look at this. And Pentacles, all about, funny enough, you're asking about career. You've got all the career cards. So the Four of Pentacles here, we're talking about taking some time, learning. Again, learning. I don't know what is there some education here that you need to work with? Is there here something you need to go away and learn? Because look at the card. So on this side, we've got this labyrinth, we've got the glowing orbs, we've got the fire energy coming in, lots and lots of like this person is making these float. This is this like magical element, but from behind it looks a lot different. There's not as much spark of energy here. It looks almost like look, their cloak is floating, it's all in midair. Woo! This side you can see how it's done, and it's about that knowledge, it's about peering behind the curtain. So there's something here in terms of career wise for you that you need to uncover, you need to go deeper into. It could be that you currently, you know, I don't know, maybe you foster some pigeons. I've got no idea. I don't know why that's coming to my mind. But anyway, maybe you foster some cats or you foster some dogs, and you're doing that again, this teaching guide dogs. I don't know what that's about, but maybe you do something like this at the moment, and that's all well and good. But to progress, you're going to have to go and do this really boring ass long course and study and all of that. And it's going to take you a long time, and it's going to cost you some money. But it's going to take you behind the curtain, behind the scenes. And that is something that is absolutely amazing for you to go and look into, because it will lead to something. And it's going to lead to a passion, a deep passion. So Cups is all about your emotions. Now, in a career setting like this, it's talking about this is the thing that is going to spark joy. It is going to light your fire, it's going to light your star. And if you look, like on this side, everything's already lit and nice and lovely. This is intuitive. This is you knowing instinctively that this is the right path and that this is what you want to do. So it's like the minute that somebody says, or the minute you go to a job fair and you see that job, you're like, you can see yourself in 20 years time doing that and loving it. And that's the energy that you've got. And then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Again, horses. Again, this animal thing coming through with the knights. Knights are teenage energy, so it may well be that there's a bit of a rebellious streak here. You've got a little bit of a gung-ho attitude that you need to kind of maybe just modify a little tiny bit, is all I'm saying. But also, knights are the go-getters by nature. They are the people that ride into the battle, you know, when the king sits back behind on their throne. The knights are the one that do all the choppy slicey ching ching with the swords, you know what I mean? So yeah, it feels, if I had to say, I would definitely say something in the animal realm, something in the care for animals, or the some sort of training with animals. I don't know, like it could be zoos, it could be vets, but there's definitely something in terms of animal care here. In terms of what the Knight of Pentacles means, so Pentacles is again money, career. So you've got 3 of those coming up in a 4-card reading. So this is really, really good for you in terms of finances. It's going to pay off longer term. It's like, go with the second you find this connection, go for it doggedly, even when people around you, and it might not be animals, it might be that accountancy is your thing, whatever it is. But when you have that spark and you have that moment of aha, that eureka moment, go for it. And when people tell you, are you being blooming stupid, Eleanor? Like, what are you, like, you couldn't possibly do that. Well, you can, because you can go and do the education. You can go and learn it. You can go, it'll take you a long time, and it will take you, you know, it will be an absolute ball ache to achieve, but you can get there, and don't let them tell you that you can't. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know whether it does. I don't know whether you're into animal husbandry or anything like that. You could be a vegan who, you know, the mere idea of being around animals freaks you out, and that's why you're vegan. Or you could be somebody who, you know, has worked on a farm for 30 years and you know, I don't know, has worked in a slaughterhouse. It could mean anything at all, but I am absolutely sure that animals, and unless it is photography and I'm just getting this really weird catalog type picture, but yeah, hopefully that makes sense, Eleanor. And yeah, thank you. Time will tell, absolutely. But trust me, when that spark comes, when you get that moment and you're like, aha, this is it, this is what it feels like, on that moment, come back on one of the live streams and come and tell us, will you please? Because I'd love to know, love to know what it is and what it is all about. Right, so we've said multiple times, Arcana Rayo, that unfortunately we are closing in 5 minutes. You keep putting questions in, the same question over and over and over again in the chat. You've been asked by Holland, by Blue Chalice Arts. You've like, there's nothing else I can do. I can't make any more time. All I can do is do what I can. So unfortunately, I have just paused you from being able to comment on the stream for tonight. You need this moment. Yeah, it will come, Eleanor. It will absolutely come. It really will. Right. It looks like I've got one more reading in. So unfortunately, if everybody, like, if you are waiting for a reading, the only thing I can suggest is that you come back and well, for a start, ding the bell, because I will be going live. I might even go live this week before Sunday, but I'll definitely be going live on Sunday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. But I might be doing another stream because I'm really enjoying this with this top-down camera. I really am. So yeah, there might be another one. Look out for it. And I might try and do, I can see somebody in the chat saying about the time delays and time differences and all of that. I'll try and do an earlier one, like an afternoon stream. So it'll be hopefully nighttime or earlier in the evening, wherever you are in the world, to try and help out. But right, so I've got one more reading I'm going to do tonight, and it's going to be for Mira or Myra. Mira or Myra. Yeah, Mira or Myra, talking about subliminals. So if you're here in the live chat, do please come through. Unfortunately, wow, thank you, Holland. Holland, you're amazing. Holland is amazing. Oh, hang on a second. I've realized why. Because I think I've got your other channel in the doodah. Bear with, everybody. Bear with. Is that the one that's on now? Oh, yes, it is. Right, so let me entertain you. No, just bear with me, everybody. 1 second. I'm on the back end. I can't see what's happening. That sounds so naughty, doesn't it? It isn't. I assure you, it isn't naughty at all. Which is what somebody would say if it was very naughty. So, you know, you can't win, can you? Come on, give me the chat. Show me the chat. Show me the money. No, just show me the chat. Thank you. Right. So, oh no, you are a spanner. Holland, you are a spanner, so it is coming up. Yeah, no, it is coming up. Very strange. I don't understand why. Right then. So Mira, I'm calling for a second time. Mira or Myra, about subliminals. If I call for a third time, I'm going to move on. Asha Kumari, are you still here? If you're still here, then hold. You better cross your fingers that Myra's not coming back on the stream. Oh, okay. Thank you, Holland. Asha Kumari, if you are here, come and say hello on the live stream. Myra, unfortunately, we've called your name 3 times. You're not here now, my darling, so I will have to move on. So Asha Kumari, if you are here, then we will go ahead and do your reading for you. Come and say hello in the live stream. Yeah, it does, Holland. It does. It's very annoying. Thank you so much for being here as a mod, though. Thank you. It means the freaking world to me. It really does. It really does. Right. It looks like Asha Kumari's not here either. See, this is what happens. People put questions in and then they can't wait. And then we end up with spaces. So I'm going to move to the next person. Oh, God. Yovon Nelson. If you are here, Momo, you're in after Yvonne. So I will try and get to you. If Yvonne Nelson, if Yvonne doesn't come up, Yvonne, I think I'm saying that, Yvonne. If you're not in on the live chat, then I'm going to call you one more time. Yovon or Yovon Nelson, if you are here, come and say hello in the live chat. I'll give you a few seconds in order to populate the chat and come and say hello. If not, then I will have to move on. Don't forget, everybody, on the live streams, if you do want to queue jump, the easiest way to do it is go across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can buy me a coffee for £3 whole, and that will queue jump you to the top of the list. And also you'll get a bit of a longer reading, just because donations help the channel. It costs a bit of money to do this. As I discovered when I looked at my bank statements, I was like, oh Jesus, it costs a lot more money than I thought it did. But anyway, last and final time for Yvonne Nelson. If you are here on the live, do please come and say hello. If not, I am going to move forward. Right. Okay, we're calling it Momo Batiste. I've got you. I think I've just seen you on the live chat. Just come and confirm that you're still here. It says you're still here, but come and just confirm, and I will do you a reading. In fact, I'm even going to let you choose the deck for the last one tonight, Momo. I'm going to... Yeah, Janina Paul. Fortunately, you retyped your question properly. Yeah, they did. Momo did. Momo, are you here? Just come and confirm that you're here on the live. This is the weirdest. I don't think we've ever had an end to a stream like this. It's already 2 minutes over time. I said I was going through till like 9:30, so it's half an hour extended. It's been 5 years since you looked at me. Have I been streaming for 2 hours? Yes, I have. 2 hours 15. Oh my God. I don't know how many readings I've done. Momo, it looks like you have disappeared. So I'm going to move on again. Last and final call from Momo. Are you here? You're there. Right. Fabulous. I've got you. Right, Momo. As the last reading tonight, everybody else, I do apologize. But you see how busy and how hectic the reads get. I don't even know how many I've done. It'll be really interesting. So Momo, 1, 2, or 3 in the live chat. Do you want the vice versa tarot deck, the Radiant Rider-Waite, so the more traditional deck with the lovely bright colors, or would you like the rather stunning all-inclusive LGBTQIA+, so LGBTQ inclusive, color inclusive, body shape inclusive, full on diversity deck? 1, 2, or 3 in the chat for your reading, please. And I will pick your deck or you will be able to pick your deck, and I will pop your question in. Can I get a general reading? Yes, indeed. So there you go. 1, 2, or 3, Momo. 1, 2, or 3. Dragons. Momo would like a general reading for the last one. Surprise you. Okie dokie. I will go for, I tell you what, a general reading. Lots of detail. We'll go with the vice versa deck, because it gives me so much intuition, so much to work with. This deck, it is just stunningly beautiful. Look at the differences. Look at what these look at the moon there, the sun and the moon and the cups, and then look at that. Just look walking away, adult walking away, inner child. It's just a beautiful deck. Right, so anyway, enough about me whittling on about decks. So your question is, can I get a general reading? Solar Dragons. Momo Batiste would like a general reading, please, on what is happening. Bearing in mind, we only generally see 6 weeks maximum into the future, unless you're asking for a very specific time scale. So here we go. Dragons, what would you like to tell Momo Batiste about what is coming up in their future? By the way, if you're new to the channel, if you hear me talk about dragons are the elemental energies I work with. I refer to them as dragons because it's a way of understanding, comprehending, and visualizing them. They aren't actual dragons, unfortunately. I wish they were. Right, so it's not going to be, wow, look at that. It's not going to be the 4 of Pentacles. We've had that a couple of times. This is your drop. That was a double drop. The angle, I need to work out the angle on this because you couldn't quite see that it went twice. So then let's have a look. 1, 2, and 3. What have we got? A general reading. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, bit of an iffy time. Nothing major coming up, Momo Batiste. So these aren't These aren't major arcana cards. So this isn't like, oh my God, the world is ending. Everything's turning to rack and ruin. And, you know, satellites are falling from the sky. Oops, already did. Oh, I shouldn't laugh, but it's funny. Only the UK government could do that. Oh, we couldn't open the doors. We lost the key. Sorry, Rishi. Rishi Sunak. Sorry, Mr. Prime Minister. We'll do better next time. Anyway, right. I made myself giggle. Oh, Christ. Right, here we go. So, past position. This is the energy you've got that's leading up to now. We've got the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is not quite as bleak as that looks, because this is one of the times where this deck is wonderful. Because, look, if we flip it, look at this. Look at this. Yes, the hands are tied, but there's a great big sword that is going through the middle that can cut this rope. The eagle is coming in, arguably, to whip off the blindfold. So you are here, you are surrounded by obstacles and challenges, and it feels like you don't really know what's happening. It feels like you can't see sort of, you know, the wood for the trees, if you like. But also it feels like you're literally trying to operate with one hand tied behind your back at the moment, that everything's been really blooming difficult, far more difficult than it needed to be. But actually, when you flip, when you see what is unseen, which is this deck is wonderful for, when you see what is unseen, you've got your escape route already built in. And actually, if you look really super closely, like the knots here aren't exactly the best in the world. This isn't, look at the slack on this rope. It's like one of those bad James Bond films where, oh no, I'm really tied up, I can't escape, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, the rope just fell off. It's like that, you know what I mean? So it's felt like everything's been going on around you. Everything was a bit closed in. You didn't have, you know, all the answers that you wanted. You weren't able to get all the solutions to the problems that you were surrounded by. However, actually, the sticking block all the way through this, largely the sticking block was you, because you had the answers, you had the way out all along, and you just had to realize that you had that knowledge. You had to realize that you had that the answers within. Like, literally, it sounds as cliched and as blooming, you know, live life love type message board as it's possible to be, but it is absolutely true. The wisdom was already there, the knowledge was there. Look at the sky above. This is not somebody who is, you know, bereft and down and horrendous. This is somebody who's just like, yeah, I'll just sit here for a minute, wait along, bide my time, and when they go away, I'll just stand up, the ropes will come off, and off I go with my own sword. You know what I mean? In the present position, we have the Knight of Wands. So for me, Wands is all about security, your sense of confidence, your sense of self, how you see yourself around in the world. Now, Knights are the rebellious teenage energy for me. So Pages are that very young, naive, childlike energy. Queens and Kings are the adults, the parents of the deck. And the Knights are that sort of, I always call it teenage, but it's more like late teens, early 20s. You know, it's that kind of, I'm a rebel and I'm going to rebel against my parents because they don't understand me, but please don't cut off my credit card. And, you know, can you keep paying for my phone bill, please? And actually, I can't afford the car insurance. Can you help me out? But I'm such a rebel. The Knights of the deck are the ones who don't really think about the repercussions of their actions, but even if they did, they'd do it anyway. They've got that sort of vibe about them. And this is where you are right now. So it kind of feels like whatever's been going on, you're kind of finding your own way through this current strife, if that makes sense. So like whatever you've had to deal with, it feels like now you're able to go, do you know what it is, right? Do you know what it is? It's the sod it. It's the sod it moment. You're having your sod it moment where you're literally going, do you know what? Sod it. We're just going to deal with it. Like, we're just going to take it as it comes. We've got the fire energy. Now, I often don't talk about the correspondences with the cards, but fire energy here, look. Fire is an amazing thing. It clears entire forests, and you think, oh my God, that entire forest burnt down. That's so sad. No, it got rid of all the brush. All the dead wood's gone. It made space for all those healthy seeds that are buried under the ground. Give it a few months and all that new life will come bounding back. It will come absolutely like it will just bounce up. It will be wonderful. And this fire is what you've got, this fire in your belly, but it's coming from a place of confidence. It's coming from a real place of knowing what to do, knowing the situation, understanding, and finally accepting, and then going, do you know what? It might burn these bridges down, and it might, you know, I might destroy everything around me, but it's the right thing for me to do. And all right, other people might get hurt in the process, but sod it, I have to do this. And then in the future position, we've got the 3 of Wands. Now, this is much more, although it's way before the night, this is really talking about solidifying that confidence, like embracing that boss bee energy. You know what I mean? It really is embracing that inner Beyonce. It's taking that, you know, now wait a minute, I don't know what that was from, but it's not Beyonce, it's something else. I wish I could get that reference. It's really annoying me, but anyway, this is that moment of question. It's like you are stepping into this boss bitch role. You're stepping into this role of finally accepting that you have this confidence, you have this ability, you have this not just sense of control, because it isn't even control, Momo. It's beyond that. It's stepping into the most confident version of yourself, is the only way I can put it. Hopefully that makes some sense, but it is literally like stepping up, leveling up, glow up. Is that what they call it these days? The young kids on the tickety-tockety-tickety-tocketies, you know, I'm having a glow up. No, love, you're just getting some spot treatment. You've had zits for the last 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Oh, there's a glow up. But it's that. It feels like you're stepping into this role. I'm going to pull you one more card. Let's get dragons, ideally a major, but we want to know, we want a concrete thing, because this is a bit airy-fairy. We want a concrete thing of what's likely to happen in the next 6 weeks that is going to give us this pivotal turning moment that is going to help Momo see the confidence and see the path. So we just want one card, and I'm gonna do a riffle. Right, here we go. There, that one. Oh, 8 of Cups. Right, inner work. So this is to do with the 8 of Cups is your passions, your the things that float your boat, the things that are that you are passionate about, the things you care about, all of your emotions. The 8 here is about some inner child work. This side, it's about moving on, you know, leaving things behind, taking a break, moving on, allowing things to take their time. This is about, look at this. It's time to strike. This star is happening right now. This is a wish. This is a fortuitous moment in time. And this inner child is what you need. This, whether that's appeasing your inner child, listening to your inner child, or in some cases, working through the trauma from your inner child. Whatever this is, I think it's more positive, to be honest, than trauma. I think this is you listening to what it is that you need to get fulfilled. And it is something that is deeply emotional. I'm pulling another card, dragons. We want one more card, dragons, because I want to know, time scale wise, I know everybody, sorry, we are flipping heck, it's quarter of an hour over. One card, dragons. Give me a time scale on when this change is likely to happen. So we've got some blinkers on, blinkers being relieved, having the situation under hand already, being able to now turn to your own intuition, your own guidance, your own confidence, and say, sod it, I'm doing it anyway. Let's burn the house down if I need to. We need to just move on. Please don't burn any houses down. Arson is not the answer. So it's moving on, burning those bridges so you can step into the role. Although it looks like, you know, the 3 comes way before the Knight, this is a much more regal looking person than this Knight. Like, it's almost like this is their first adventure, and this is the Knight several crusades later when they've got all the money and the gold and the jewels. So we've talked about how you do this with the inner child. So let's talk about when this is likely to happen. One riffle shuffle there. Nope. Hang on, I was looking at the screen. That's my bad. I need to not. Right, I'm closing my eyes. I know you can't see it, so you just have to trust there. That, whatever that is. What's that? Three of Cups. Yeah, absolutely right. Go with your feelings, go with your emotions. You are being torn right now because innately you know what I'm talking about, like nobody else does. And I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just waffling now, but innately you know exactly what I'm talking about, Momo. You know precisely the minute I started talking about this Knight of Wands energy, you were like, yep, I've got it. I know what she's talking about. And this here, this Three of Cups, this is that same sort of vibe. This is that same thing as this. It's stepping up into. So this is you stepping up into the role. This is you stepping up into the role that you've always wanted. This is you getting it. And this is that. This is you finally embracing that joyousness, those emotions, and embracing what is right for you, even though there's a bit of a sticking point over here where you're like, do I really, can I really do it? I'm a bit doubting. So yeah, just do it. Just go for it. Whatever this is, whatever this decision is, if your inner child is saying the same thing, if it's making your heart do funny things and fluttery butterflies, and you're fulfilling something that feels like you are the handmaiden, you are being granted this wonderful sort of moment, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. Yeah, please let us know in future, in future, can't even speak, Lise. Do please let us know, Momo, on a future live stream. God, I'm so tired now. It takes me out of me. It does, doing this. Let us know on a future live stream how it goes and what is happening. The Knight told you exactly what you were talking about. See, I knew as soon as I did it. I'm like, I have no idea, because there's no major cards and I haven't got there's no headline for me to talk about. But the minute that I was like, no, I think you've got it, and it's that already. Oh, hang on. Info Entertainment 999. I've been reading for 2.5 hours, my darling. I think I've done 12, 13 readings, something like that in that time, maybe longer, maybe more. And now we are out of time. I was supposed to be finishing at 9:30. I went through till 10, and now it's nearly 20 past 10 here in the UK. So I am going to end the stream here. But thank you very much for your question. As I say, there is only one way on the channel. I try and go through the questions as I can, in order, as quickly as I can. But I am a very, very intuitive reader. And the dragons, the universal energies do try and give me a bucket load of information to pass on. If you would like a reading, though, in between time, you can go across to hang on, which way is it? That one there we go. Look, you can go across to fiverr.com/beyond authentic, where you can go and book a reading. And if you do book a 6-card reading, then you can actually get yourself upgraded to a 10-card reading if you use the word weirdling. So yeah, fabulous. That is lovely. You need to look within and step in your power and use your gifts. Absolutely. Yes, be the boss ass be that you are. Be the inner, embrace your inner Beyonce, my darling. That is what you need to do. Who run the world? You do, probably. You probably will end up running the entire world. So those are the decks that we have used today. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for coming on. If you are wanting to book a reading over on Fiverr.com and you want to take advantage of the deal, this is what you need to do. Yes, indeed. Just use the word weirdling and that will get you a 10-card reading for the price of a 6-card. That is it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do make sure... Oh, hang on. Where's me? I just realized that was still ticking over. Do please make sure that you do the YouTubey things just down. How do I... just down there. Look, there. Down there. That's a really weird angle for my hand. Do the YouTubey things. Like, subscribe, and ding the bell so that YouTube notifies you when I'm next on a live stream. And as I say, apart from Sundays, if you ever do want to queue jump and guarantee yourself a spot, you have got the option of going across and donating on buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. But that is it for me tonight. Thank you so much to Holland, the amazing Blue Chalice Arts, for joining me on a very impromptu stream and actually acting as a moderator. Thank you so much. It turns out I couldn't have done tonight without you, but thank you so much, Holland, for doing that. That was amazing. And as I say, everybody, if you haven't already, do please go across to Etsy and check out Blue Chalice Arts' shop. They sell some wonderful stuff on there. Lots of in fact, right. I'm not doing any more readings, but let's have a little look-see. Can I do that right now? Are you going to no, okie dokie. Can I? Blue moon dust will follow you. You're freaky now. How do I, this might be completely horrendous. I might be in completely the wrong place on Etsy. In fact, I think I am. So let me just do this one instead. Look at me trying to be all like spontaneous, spur of the moment, and then it taking me like 15 days to try and get a web page up. Right then, here we go. Blue Chalice Arts. Oh, hang on. What? Blue Chalice Arts. I've got lots of blue chalices coming up. Where's the... Am I not clicking on the right thing? This is where I don't know how to... This is where I'm showing that I do not know how to use Etsy properly. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, don't put blue chalice. Oh, right. Okay, that's my fault. Right. Sorry. You just put blue chalice in on Etsy, and then it comes up. Where does it come up? 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 Where's the sellers thing? I can't find the sellers thing on here. Oh, I'm so not good with Etsy, am I? I'm so... I'm so useless. How do I? Am I on the wrong? I might even be on the wrong bit of Etsy. Do I have to go right? Okay, let's just do this. Oh, the shop Blue Chalice. Yes, I do mean the shop Blue Chalice. Etsy. Click on that. Right. Haha, found it. Right, Holland. Gosh, that was hard work, wasn't it? That was blooming hard work. Let me find the doodah, and I will share the doodah so you can all see how amazing the stuff that Holland makes is. Chrome tab, Blue Chalice. There we go. Share that. Go to there. Add it on the stream. Click on the button. Do that as a solo. There we go. Look at that. So this is the Etsy shop, and look at these wonderful things. I've got some of those. They're really cool. Elemental discs. I love all of these. I didn't know you did Yule cards until I'd already bought some Cancer Christmas cards, and then didn't even unwrap them and send them because, you know, my brain was a bit wobbly. Look at this, some lovely runes, altar tile you can put on your altar. These lovely blooming hangings. Oh my god, I love them. Where's the witch boughs? Is that the witch boughs? Oh no, that's a purse. I like that as well, like purse charms. These are the witch boughs. Look at the bells, they're so pretty. I've got some of those on my door that Holland sent me. They are so cool. If you don't know what witch bells are for, I will do a video. In fact, Holland can come on the podcast one day and tell us about them themselves, because they make them, not me. So there you go. Look, lots of lovely witchy stuff. So if you're into witchy stuff in general, get yourself over there on Blue Chalice over on Etsy, and you will be able to find yourself some amazing stuff. Look, altar boxes, blessings, gift sets. There's more altar tiles, earrings. There's all sorts of stuff. Look at all this lovely handmade stuff, handmade gorgeousness. And if that you can get over on Etsy. And Holland is wonderful and is a wonderful moderator here on the channel. So yeah. There we go, everybody. I'm a bit knackered now, I've got to admit, a bit knackered. Didn't expect to be doing this for so long. I said to Rufus, oh, I'll go and do an hour's spread. I do an hour's readings. It'll be fine. But I do have to admit, I am loving the top-down camera at the moment. I am loving it. I think it works really, really well. But that is going to be it for me today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. If you, Mr. Subin, I called you like 3 times. Your question came up like 3 times, and I called you and you weren't here, my darling. So unfortunately, we've ended now today. But do hit that bell, and YouTube should notify you next time I am live streaming. There will be a video coming up tomorrow. It's the next one of our Witchy Wednesday with podcasts, where myself and my friend Neil, who runs a wonderful horror fanzine called Necronomicon, has been running it for like 20 years. 20 years at least, something like that. It's getting up to issue 50 anyway. Yeah, we do a podcast together talking about all sorts of witchy stuff and chaos magic stuff and all sorts of randomness. So that is coming up on the channel tomorrow. And then between tomorrow and Sunday, when I'm next due a live stream, there might be another one, because I'm quite enjoying these. So keep an eye out on the channel for that. And I will see you next time. And as I always say, stay you, stay authentic, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. And then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding your bell, and make sure your settings are changed to all. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video. But if you would like to support myself and this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. Thanks so much for those of you choosing to support me.